72 degrees. Time now is 6:05. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, McGraw.
Did I ever tell you I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey? But then I turned myself around.
Yeah. Choo-choo. Saw that one coming around the bend. Saw the smoke from the smokestack. All right, let's get serious here for this horrible, confusing story that you let off the news with. Look, there's a lot of moving pieces to this story, and a lot of it is convoluted, confusing.
Can you go back from the start and just say what you?
Once you read the article, it's even more confusing. But
it's a 2-year-old case.
The best I can figure out is this poor boy died, and this woman alleges that she didn't get any help from the police in trying to find her boy. They suspected the husband or the father, and one thing led to another.
And the father's girlfriend.
Right, and so they allege this, and then you bring in Deloge, and you bring in other places, and all of a sudden, then mysteriously they go dig up back alley, some back basement or
in Illinois,
a backyard somewhere. And they magically find this body's remains. It's going to take us a couple of days to sort of digest exactly what they're alleging. Yesterday, Police Commissioner Tracy held a news conference saying we're going to investigate it and we're going to see if and where any and all of this happened and where we failed and so on and so forth. So before we start criticizing it at one side or the other, whatever else, it's very confusing. There is, however, one piece of this story that I read numerous times that I think is probably one of the most important pieces of information in this story, and that is that authorities are waiting for confirmation on the identity of the body found in the woods. That's one. Everyone thinks it's the boy, but hold off on that. But the thing that is most interesting to me is Police Commissioner Tracy said it appears that the boy had died before the mother reported him missing. To me, that's a very important key part of this story that sort of burst onto the scene in the last 24 or 48 hours. So that she went to the police saying, my boy is missing. They now believe that the boy had already died before she reported him missing. Whatever else happens after that in terms of if the police drop the ball, if prosecutors fail to bring charges or anything else, all of that is an important part of the story. But police believe that the boy had died before they ever knew about this case to begin with.
Well, and it's looking like it's a domestic, the dad, there's abuse allegations and whatnot, and it looks like she said, I was waiting for the dad to drop the boy off, and he never did.
Right.
So with
they
that
have
being
shared custody.
With that being said, possibly whoever had the kid at the time, the kid could have been dead in that person's custody without the mom.
Right.
Right. And then days go, and they're like, it's my turn for my son. Where is he?
There's a million variables to this.
And the mother is claiming that piece of property in Illinois is owned by relatives of the father.
Or something. Yeah. I mean, there's a million little tentacles to this story. So, again, we'll have to wait and see how this whole thing turns out. But to me, after reading this story, the one key piece of evidence is that the police believe that they were first initially contacted about this, and the boy had already died. So we'll wait and see what happens. There's no sense speculating on any of it. It is a convoluted story. It's a heartbreaking story that this poor boy passed away, and allegations are flying and everything else. So we'll just wait and see what the latest news brings us. But that's sort of that story that sort of burst onto the scene that everyone's going to be talking about. And all the news is going to be reporting on. All right, let's move on and keep a good thought and a prayer for that young boy who didn't make it. 6:11 here, Big 550 KTRS. All right, coming up on the show today, Rick Klein's going to be joining us. It's been a crazy week. Turkey, NATO, Graham Plattner, all of that. Rick Klein's going to recap the week for us. Remember that legislation, that the bipartisan legislation to sort of help ease some of the housing woes that President Trump was going to sign and then said, I don't really care about it? Well, believe it or not, today's day 10, and if he doesn't sign it today, it becomes law. We're going to talk to ABC News' Olivia Rubin about that. She's filling in for Karen Travers as she makes her way back
from Turkey.
From Turkey. I guess she could use the Qatari plane because no, President Trump didn't use it. So we'll get into that with ABC. Stephen Portnoy is going to be joining us. The gentleman who, that Olympian who is charged with vandalizing the reflecting pool speaks out. Stephen Portnoy's got that story. Jim Ryan's got a pretty disturbing story about parasitic infections spreading to more states. Thanks, Jim.
But you got to know about it.
I know. You got to know about it, but thanks, Jim. Let me finish my Wheaties before we...
Seriously, because I
finish breakfast before 7:50.
You know the main symptom of this. It's going to come up, and he's going to have to say it.
Okay. Will Gans has got some movies for us. Johnny Londoff's got some cars for us. Dan Zarlinga has got
sunflowers.
Sunflowers.
I know. I'm excited.
Who doesn't love sunflowers? Joan Van Dras wants to be your congresswoman. We'll check in with her. Randy Carricker's got sports. Another tough loss by your Cardinals last night, even though Jordan Walker went deep again. This guy's having some season. And phone calls in the 9 o'clock hour.
Will you watch the home run derby featuring Jordan Walker?
Sure. I like a good home run derby. I love home run derby. I did hear that, and I winced a little bit because...
It screws up their swing.
Yes. I was like, the last thing this guy needs is an alarm clock around him. Don't wake up. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't try and hit home runs. Just sort of... just wrap yourself up in bubble wrap for 3 days while the All-Star game happens, even though he's going to the All-Star game. But don't do anything to mess it up. Just keep doing what you're doing. And then we'll go from there. Good morning this morning, McGraw. Enjoyed your Nighthawk program last night. The Nighthawk. Little George Norrie reference there. The Nighthawk. Somebody told me George Norrie would, when he was taking open phones, would have people guess how much change he had in his pocket.
And he would drop it on the table so you could hear it clink.
Yeah. And then after that, you'd have to guess how much he had? Okay.
He said, guess how much money this is. This was what was in my pocket. Clink, clink, clink.
Gotcha.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh, the Nighthawks, legendary. Yeah, George Norrie. Proud alum of the Big 550 KTRS.
Is he the UFO?
He is the UFO.
He took over for Art Bell.
He is a UFO. Right. Yes, that is correct. George Norrie's great. In the middle of the night, George Norrie's, I mean, there's a reason why he's George Norrie.
I think Dad used to say when he used to have the show here right before George Norrie, and the phone calls right before the end of the show would start to be about
George Norrie.
Yes, he'd be like, I could tell it was time when they started asking me about UFOs and stuff.
George Norrie was once the news director at Channel 5.
Yes.
And hired Jennifer Blome.
Wow.
Which means Jennifer Blome is an alien.
No, yeah, right.
Yes. I follow your logic.
Take me.
She was what she is she is out there. So if somebody told me Jennifer Blome was an alien, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. 6:15, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky. No. Here's Connor McCarthy.
All right, McGraw, no traffic out on the road right now. No accidents or major incidents to report either. We have a couple of notes here going into the morning. 270 north and southbound, right at the 64 merge. That's going to have regular construction, as it has had for the last 2 years. And on 70 north and southbound, right by the sinkhole downtown, some exit and off ramps will be affected but nothing on the highway will be affected. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the St. Louis Quasi Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right,
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk. Local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Any rain moves out by the morning commute. 74 for the low, 89 for the afternoon high Friday, and another chance for an isolated but strong to severe storm, mainly in the afternoon to evening Friday. So another First Alert weather day as we monitor that risk. Damaging winds will be the primary risk. Saturday, just a 30% chance of a shower storm, mainly in the morning, and 85 for the high. A lot of dry time, though, Saturday, and dry for Sunday. Partly cloudy and a high of 88. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Lordo's Diamonds is where you go to get all your jewelry. Don't go online because you know that diamond, you can make that diamond bigger or smaller with the picture, right? It's not a good representation of what you're buying when you go online and look at a picture. You need to go in and see it for yourself, and that's where Lordo's comes in. Clayton Road in Ladue, nice little shopping area over there. You call it a strip mall, but that's not fair. It's sort of a little shopping center right there. You know where Truffles is? Yeah, right there. That's where Lordo's has been the anchor for years and years and years. They learned the business from their father, and it's been handed down from generation to the next generation. And so Lordo's name is synonymous with quality. So if you're looking for earrings, necklaces, bracelets, jewelry of any kind, men's watches, women's watches, engagement rings, wedding rings, you want to repurpose something, you want to sell something back, you want to look for something new, yeah, Lordo's is where you go. Go in, make a friend, and you're there for 5, 10, 15 minutes. There's a good chance someone's going to walk in who you know. How many times I ran into them at Lordo's Diamonds. So it's a place where everybody goes. 314-432-8008, and there's a reason why everybody goes there, because it's quality, you can trust them, it's good stuff. And they've been doing it a long time, so they know what they're doing. It's a family jeweler, and that's what you need. Lordo's or LordosDiamonds.com.
Looking for a great local restaurant recommendation?
Missy Mall.
Tune in to the Kuno Food Service weekly special during the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Hear from the best of the best restaurant owners in town. Only on the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Presented by Kuno Food Service, right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
A new way of banking is a touch away at Royal Banks of Missouri. Gone are the days of rushing to the bank before closing time. Visit their interactive teller machines to receive live assistance from a real Royal Banks employee, even in the evenings and on Saturdays. Whether you need to make a deposit, loan payment, or anything in between, you can enjoy simple, secure banking support with a friendly face you know and trust. Visit RoyalBanksofMo.com to find an ITM near you. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. Plus, when you schedule your appointment before July 12th, you'll receive an additional $250 off your entire purchase. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Why leave for vacation when your favorite destination could be your own backyard? I'm Jill Farmer for Patriot Build Sunrooms. Transform your deck or patio into the perfect place to relax and make memories with a Patriot sunroom screen room, patio cover, power shades, outdoor kitchen, or any idea you can come up with. Patriot's designers and craftsmen have helped over 10,000 homeowners create stunning backyard living spaces. Save thousands with a free insulated roof upgrade. Call today for your free design consultation, 314-822-3232 or patriotbuildsstl.com.
The World Cup is here, and for a team to survive, they need a good defense. If you've been hurt in a crash or on the job, call Brown & Brown now for a free consultation, 314-333-3333. That's 314, all threes. The choice of lawyer is important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Aluminum shapes the world around us, keeping our homes cool, our cars moving, and our supply chains humming. From their global headquarters in St. Louis, Metal Exchange has been helping to make it happen for over 50 years. But they're more than an aluminum company.
At their core, Metal Exchange takes a we before me approach by putting people first at work and in our community. That's why this month they're teaming up with Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of St. Louis for Christmas in July, collecting toys and bringing joy to local families. Learn more about how Metal Exchange is impacting our world at metalexchange.com.
Beauty in Forest Park.
Your enchanted evening awaits as South Pacific, the sweeping American classic by Rodgers and Hammerstein, returns to the Muni, July 6th through 12th. Sponsored by Centene. Your seats are waiting at muni.org.
It's the Big Sports Show with Sports Director Brendan Lisi. Weeknights 7 to 9 on the Talk of St. Louis. The Big 550. KTRS. McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Always.
Do you ask any other kind?
I have Google Mail. And
Gmail.
Gmail. And I got to tell you, its search engine is not very good. I always search for my mail, like something,
Yes.
and it doesn't like. I search. I'm looking for an email, and I did a quick search that I know who it's from, and the first thing that pops up was from like 2018. What?
Do you have a keyword you can throw in there?
It's not very good. The search in Gmail is not good
for your emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's
or it'll put up every single email you already have.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a fan of this. Here we go. I found it, but nonetheless, it was not easy. All right. So did I do this correctly? There's this argument over Amendment 5, taxes, right?
The donkey,
the talking donkey. Axios this morning or yesterday morning did a. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I can't do it. It's they did a. Axios is a well-known news site, and they did a story about states. They broke down states that collect sales taxes versus income tax versus other things. And the argument of the story was about how there are some states that are going more sales tax, and there are some states that are going more income tax. When I was like, oh, that's really interesting, because in Missouri, we're having this argument and this debate right now. And nationwide, well, nobody really cares nationwide, but in Missouri, it seems like the income tax of state revenues, so of all the state revenues, what percentage comes from income tax? And according to this chart, it's at least 50% of the state revenue comes from income tax.
50?
50%, yeah, 50%. And so the argument is, what they want to do is they want to reduce our dependence on income tax and have it come from sales tax. And as the proponents of Amendment 5 will tell you, that as more revenue comes in, they'll be able to reduce the income tax. And so the hope is that they don't have to add any new taxes. And with the growth of the economy and everything else, that can replace the income tax. Now, who knows if that's going to actually happen or not. But trying to replace half of the revenue in the state is a tall order to ask to come from, right? And so when people say, well, okay, great, you're going to do away with the income tax, but where are you going to make up that money in other places? Is it going to be sales tax? Is it going to be some type of use tax?
Like Florida has a tourist tax.
Yes.
That makes sense.
It's funny you mentioned Florida. In this chart, the overwhelming majority of money from Florida comes from sales tax. And then they have other taxes. And then a very little thin line of income tax. Texas, 0. There's not 1 penny of state revenue that comes from income tax in Texas. It's like 75% sales tax. Same with Washington. Same with Wyoming. Let's see here. What other states have?
Both people in Wyoming don't have to pay sales tax?
Nevada. Nevada has a huge sales tax. Again, dependent on
tourism.
Tourism, yeah. Alaska. Alaska has very low sales tax, very low income tax.
Doesn't Alaska pay their residents?
Well, that's the oil. Yeah. So there are outlying reasons why it's a low tax state in Alaska, low sales tax, low income tax. But it's really interesting to see this chart. Let me see a high. California is a high income tax state, low sales tax state. But it's interesting to see this debate going on about arguing over what's a better way to tax its citizens, income tax or sales tax, because apparently there's winners and losers for both. Georgia has a high income tax, lower sales tax. It's just interesting to see. But this one's going to be interesting. I said yesterday I was talking to people who are involved with the polling, and they said that Amendment 5 is it's going to be tight one way or the other. It's going to be tight. Amendment 4, that one's from, if you believe the polls, that one's got no chance of passing. But that's if you believe the polls. We'll see what happens, how this all turns out. But it's just interesting to see that half in Missouri, half the money comes from income tax, and they want to try and make it up in some other way. But they're not telling us. That's the interesting thing. That's the other interesting thing about this. We might not have to make it up, but if we do, don't worry about it. We'll let you know. We'll let you know. Well, don't worry about it. That's a small detail. We'll let you know.
It's a need to know basis.
Yeah. We have to wait and see where we get to, and then we'll let you know where we're going to make it up. But don't worry about it. It's all good. The rich people will be taken care of. Trust me. They're not going to re-tax capital gains, right? They're not going to re-tax. They're not going to. That's safe to know. So they're not going to start taxing our capital gains, which is good. All right, 6:30 here, St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Once again, here's Connor McCarthy.
All right, McGraw, we have a stalled vehicle on 70 westbound past Florissant. In the right shoulder, all lanes are open and traffic is moving along well there. We also have a crash on 44 eastbound past Park Avenue. The right 2 lanes are closed, as well as the right shoulder. Other lanes remain open, causing a little bit of a slowdown here. Could cause more as we go through the morning. This track, don't forget The Westport Plaza Family Movie Night is tonight for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars, face painting, concession, stage show, and the movie. Catholic Charities will be collecting toys or non-perishable items for families in need, presented by Royal Banks, Missouri. From the St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
73 degrees right now here at the Big 550 KTRS. Today is going to be a carbon copy of all the other days this week. Hazy, hot, and humid. High today of 88. Some scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. Could be some damaging winds. Could be large hail. Could get into some trouble there. So that's going to be the afternoon. Overnight tonight, thunderstorms likely. Again, some could be severe, damaging winds, large hail overnight tonight. They're calling for up to an inch of rain overnight tonight with a low of 72. Tomorrow, cloudy 82. Sunday, they're calling for some rain, high of 84. It is, 72 right now at 6:31. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
A series of mysterious airstrikes have hit Iran after the U.S. said it ended its attacks, raising questions about who targeted the Islamic Republic. The strikes on Thursday hit areas across southern Iran. Lawyers for the man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk plan to call a final witness today as they try to raise doubts about the prosecution's case. A Utah judge is deciding whether prosecutors have enough evidence to put Tyler Robinson on trial on a charge of aggravated murder. In local headlines, St. Louis Alderman Rasheen Aldridge and President Megan Green filed a bill to place a bus rapid transit proposal on the April 7th ballot. It will be formally introduced at the full Board of Aldermen meeting this morning. And PETA is planning a demonstration outside of a Raising Cane's in South St. Louis tomorrow. Organizers say the gathering at the South Vandevenner Avenue location aims to show the animal cruelty of the meat industry. 72 degrees. Time now is 6:31. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right, with all these storms coming, some could be severe, right? We were talking about large hail, heavy winds. That means the roof could be damaged. And when the roof gets damaged, you've got to figure out what you're going to do. Let me tell you about Beatty Roofing. Beatty Roofing was founded back in the 1950s, and they were once considered one of the big four. They've done all there is to do in the world of commercial. And when you do commercial, right, you got to be buttoned up, whether it's the St. Louis Science Center, Lambert Airport, the convention centers, the hospitals. Those are big, giant, tough jobs, and they only give those jobs to the companies that can handle it. Beatty Roofing, the last couple of years, has now brought that expertise and that commitment to customer service into the residential world of roofing. And so Beatty Roofing is now going to help you fix your roof after this weekend's storms. They will work with your insurance company. That's a given. But what also they'll do is they will have a project manager on site all day, every day, at every single job. That's one of the things they learned about the commercial business, right? You got to have somebody who's sort of overseeing the job. The crew isn't there by themselves. This project manager is an extra set of eyes and ears and everything else to make sure everything is done right. Because your roof, you don't want to mess around with. They're big supporters of local charities, not to mention that Beatty Roofing, mention you're a first responder, and you'll get an extra 10% off of your roof needs. Beatty Roofing. This weekend, we got some storms coming. You need a roofer, you need Beatty. Beatty, B-A-D-E, 314-892-1331 or BeattyRoofing.com.
Tune in to the Big 550 for the daily World Cup updates with Sports Director Brendan Weesey, only on KTRS. Brought to you by Alexander Hinton American Family Insurance, WS Window and Door, Hackett Security, and Aldon Heating and Cooling.
The tradition continues on Saturday, July 25th, when the Cardinals play the Cincinnati Reds. That day, you can take home the fan favorite Victory Blue jersey, just like the one the Cardinals wear every road Saturday, presented by Stiefel. It's a clean, classic look that stands out all season long. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. Step into Saturday in Victory Blue. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Michael McGreevy. See you at Busch Stadium.
Hello, everybody. I'm Scott Jacob.
And I'm Beth Jacob. We're the owners of Jacob Showers and Baths, local family-owned company in business for nearly half a century. We specialize in helping seniors age in place with bath and shower designs that are both safe and aesthetically pleasing.
We use a composite material that looks and feels like luxury stone. Come visit our showrooms in Fenton or Fairview Heights.
Mention the McGraw Special or select the McGraw Show from the drop-down menu on the website. Our phone, 800-222-6676, or visit us online at jacobbaths.com.
Hi, this is Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details. That's trhughes.com.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
Tune in to KTRS on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. for the Strategic Wealth Hour, hosted by experienced advisors Tom Haddican and Charlie Sanariva from Synergy Wealth Solutions. The Strategic Wealth Hour is a dynamic and engaging show designed to help listeners take control of their financial future with confidence by breaking down complex topics like retirement planning, wealth and investment management, and protection strategies you can actually use. That's the Strategic Wealth Hour on Sundays at 10 a.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, St. Louis, this is Zippers Up. I'm getting ready to MC the Mater Media Speaker Series. Woo, we're bringing in some big names: Bill O'Reilly, Cardinal Timothy Dolan, John O'Leary, other national personalities. We're going to be at the J. Scheidegger Center for the Arts, Lindenwood University, beginning in September. Go to matermedia.org. That's MATERMEDIA.org. Early bird pricing going on now. Don't wait. Tickets are going fast.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio, discover the hidden speakeasy, and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66 true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
The St. Louis Chess Club is a newly expanded 30,000 square foot state-of-the-art chess center featuring world-class tournament playing halls, classrooms, library, and casual play spaces for everyone who loves the game.
But it's so much more than a place to play.
It's where champions are built on the board, in the classroom, and across the community, with a mission to bring the game to everyone from all levels, with membership starting at just $15 a month.
Discover the excitement, the challenge, and the community of chess at stlouischessclub.org.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
$6:37 here, Big 550, KTRS. Can we talk Mitch McConnell for a second? Because one of the more bizarre stories. So apparently, in the middle of June, he was taken. Reports are that somebody was taken from his home unconscious in an ambulance. Now apparently, there's a video of this, and he hasn't shown up for work since June. And recently, the Republicans came out and all said that they'd spoken with him for 20 minutes about policy. It was very bizarre how all their statements were exactly the same. If it was a Law and Order episode, you'd think there was something weird about all of the statements exactly the same. But anyway, what's most bizarre about this, well, first of all, everyone's thinking like, well, what's the big deal? He sits on the Appropriations Committee, and the Appropriations Committee appropriates the cash. And if he's not there, he can't vote. And if he can't vote, there are equal number of Republicans and Democrats. And so Trump wants more money for the war. They can't appropriate more money if it's a tie in the committee. Mitch McConnell's got to be there to sort of shepherd it through.
He doesn't have a proxy or something?
You can no mail-in ballots. You got to be in the room. You got to be in the room when you're a senator. Yeah. So this is kind of a big deal because it's so close with all this other voting going on. We'll see what happens. Now, but that's not the most bizarre thing about this. Apparently, he's been either bedridden or rehabbing since unconscious, taken to the hospital in an ambulance. His wife, former Labor Secretary Elaine Chao, was in China at the time. And she's now back, but she released a statement. This is Mitch McConnell's wife. Her spokesperson said, the secretary was on a long-planned trip to China to support her family's philanthropic endeavors. During the trip, she met with a number of people, including the U.S. ambassador. The senator's health did not warrant an immediate return to the U.S. So you've rendered unconscious, taken to the hospital in an ambulance, and your wife's like in China. She's like, well, I'll get back. Whatever I get back. How are you doing? I'm back next week. Hang on until then.
Initial reports is that she left right after this happened. That is not true. She was already
over there. Yes.
She just didn't come home.
She didn't hop on the first flight to come home. I got to be with my Mitch.
Well, are they trying to use it to just downplay the situation?
I don't know. I don't know. But
real quick, I'm blown away. So they don't have any type of thing in place because your senators have no term limits, right? You can be 100 years old, and this has to have happened before, where your age. If you fall ill and you can't physically make it to a vote.
Yes. Well, that's why Stephen Portnoy yesterday said, he's seen them wheeled in and wheeled out.
Oh man.
Thumbs up, nod, whatever. Right? Dianne Feinstein at the end. I mean, there's been a long line of senators who, and I don't mean to joke about this.
I know, but you know what?
But
it almost,
weekend at Bernie's.
Yes, that's I'm just saying, maybe they should put. I mean, if you're gonna allow people to be of advanced age and questionable health or whatever, because they're in there forever.
It's their chamber. They make the rules. The rules are you got to be in the room to vote.
He's seen people wheeled in.
That's Stephen Portnoy yesterday told us he's seen people wheeled in and wheeled out. Wheeled in, somebody raises their hand for them, and then yay, and then they sort of hold up a placard. But you've got to vote in the room.
John McCain walked in, held his thumbs down, and then left.
Yeah,
I know, and not joking, but it is Weekend at Bernie's. That's exactly what, right? So his handlers literally have his hand tied to the.
Yeah, I mean, there's a long line of senators who have been legislating long past their prime and have been.
So they don't have to do like cognitive or lucidity.
No.
You don't have to be lucid.
You don't have to take an easy test or a hard test.
Every 6 years, they just get voted in again.
Democracy says the voters decide, and the voters decided, and so there you go. That's the way the game's played. It's up to the voters, and if the voters aren't going to knock them out, not only is it up to the voters, it's up to the voters of Kentucky. If this is who the voters of Kentucky wanted. That's democracy at work.
Well, what if he was unopposed? If no one else ran?
Well,
that's the only option.
Then that's Then
he wins again.
Oftentimes it's a binary choice, right? You have to hold your nose and vote for one, or hold your nose and vote for the other one, or I'm not voting for this one. I'm voting against that one.
Right.
But yeah, Mitch McConnell. I just find it so bizarre that his wife was. It wasn't like she just didn't come back and say I couldn't get out of China. She says, "Hey, wasn't that bad? I didn't need to come back." Well, your husband's in the hospital.
Maybe they told her not to not raise suspicion and or fear.
Who's there?
I would think.
That's the question.
Think if it's your husband, right? Wild horses couldn't keep you from your husband if he was rushed to the hospital. But maybe I'm watching too many Hallmark movies.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, 7:43 here, Big 550 KTRS. Look, it's a heat wave. And it's bad out there. Gelmish and Sons understands this. Why? Because they've been dealing with St. Louis summers for 76 years. And talking to them about last summer, and it was all hands on deck. It looks like this St. Louis summer is shaping up to be something similar with this heat wave. So look, if you have any issues with your air conditioner, or you have friends who have issues with your air conditioner or their air conditioner, call Gelmish and Sons. Put them on the list. Make sure you know who to call. They're not a hedge fund. They're a locally owned company. And they, especially in a time like this, right, there could be some nefarious people come out there and in the middle of a heat wave, all of a sudden your job went from a $300 fix to a $1,300 fix because, well, you're in the middle of a heat wave. Not Gelmish and Sons. They understand that they have a reputation to uphold, and they have done things right for 76 years. When you work for a family business, you just work a little bit harder. 314-993-1110. 314-993-1110. Gelmish and Sons, especially in this heat wave. Check on mom, dad, make sure the dogs and cats have plenty of water. And when the air conditioner gets some trouble, Gelmish and Sons is the name to call. Gelmish & Sons or gelmishandsons.com. St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
All right, McGraw, we have an update on that crash on 44 eastbound past Park. The right 2 lanes still closed down, causing a little bit of a traffic jam there as crews work to clear it. 2 lanes closed there. We also have a stalled vehicle on 70 westbound past 141 in the right shoulder. All lanes open, not causing too much of a slowdown there, however. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night tonight for a free showing of the Disney Classic Cars, face painting concessions, stage show, and the movie. Catholic Charities will be collecting toys or non-perishable items for families in need, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
Dangerous flooding ongoing in some areas south of St. Louis this morning. We're talking Raleigh to Farmington and farther south. For the rest of us, kind of a waiting game today with a lot of dry time through the midday hours. But then we watch for scattered storms to pop up again this afternoon into tonight. Some of those could produce some strong winds and add to that flood risk. 89 for the high today. Scattered rain and storms tonight, too, into early Saturday, down to 73 for the low. And then it's hit and miss rain Saturday morning and afternoon. More clouds tomorrow, too, with a high of 85. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers on the Big 550 KTRS.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrade you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. Plus, when you schedule your appointment before July 12th, you'll receive an additional $250 off your entire purchase. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group. And as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Hi, Matt Kearns, president of STL Fringe. This is our 15th anniversary, and the lineup this year is spectacular. Join me for the celebration August 3rd through 9th at STL Fringe Fest 26 in the beautiful Grand Center Arts District. There you will experience concerts, plays, puppetry, musicals, and even a little burlesque. Perfect for those summer bachelorette parties. Grab passes and tickets today, and I'll see you at the Fringe, stlfringe.org. Use promo code BIG550 at the website.
Each week, Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost cover 3 key pillars of your retirement strategy: income, taxes, and risk. Join us for Kickin' with the Rickens, Redefining Retirement, Sundays at 3 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Rick Klein joins us every Friday to check in. ABC News political director. Lots going on, Rick Klein. You got NATO, Turkey, Graham Plattner. Let's start with Mitch McConnell, because this is turning into a bigger story as the week has gone on. Where is Mitch McConnell, and when do he's coming back, and what do we know?
Well, we believe he continues to be hospitalized here in Washington, D.C., and it's going on a month now where no one has seen his face or heard his voice publicly. We've heard from several of his friends and colleagues who say they've talked to him. They've had substantive conversations, they say, even about the Graham Plattner news and other things happening this week. But he hasn't voted. He hasn't showed up in Congress. And, of course, that's a long time to be hospitalized anywhere, not even to be transported back to his home state. We know that his wife has come and gone to a scheduled trip to China in the interim. And next week, the Senate's back. And the question is, will Mitch McConnell be back as well? He's a key committee chair, in addition to being the former majority leader. He also is a critical vote, because we know how slim that Senate majority is.
As a government employee, it's nice to see he's got good health care to take care of a month-long stay in the hospital. But it's not just his health, which is an issue. With such tight margins in the Senate, him not being there, are you worried, or what's the ramifications of that vote not being there in the chamber?
Well, we already saw President Trump unexpectedly lose a vote a couple weeks ago on an Iran war resolution, and Mitch McConnell's vote might have made a difference there if there had been full attendance. And, you know, he is the chair of a committee that does defense appropriations, and you really can't have committee business get done without that. And with this margin, a 53-47 margin, you know, literally the Republicans will need every vote on a lot of things, because they've got members who have started to vote against the party, either because they were primaried by Trump and lost, or because they need to put some political distance between themselves and the president. We've got confirmation votes we're expecting the next couple of weeks for a new director of national intelligence, for Todd Blanche to be permanently confirmed as attorney general. All of those things might not be able to happen if the Republicans are down a man.
Yeah, this is really, really interesting, right? It all might land on one person's shoulder, and that person's Mitch McConnell. We'll have to wait and see. Rick Klein, NATO. President Trump was all over the board. He was critical. He was praising them. Where are we with NATO after this summit?
I mean, look, as everything with President Trump, it becomes transactional in the moment, so it's hard to say if there's an overall strategy here. I think largely he's been able to get many of these countries to boost their defense spending. He also has not been able to get them to help on the Iran war in any substantive way. They feel like Trump, that was a war of choice. It was an offensive war, not a defensive war. That really hasn't changed. We saw him begin to initiate another trade war against Spain and then end it just a few hours later. So I think a lot of these countries have adjusted to the era of Trump and know what to say or how to say it in a way that isn't going to get the president angry or create a new mini crisis. But any peace inside of NATO is only lasts as long as the president wants it to.
The Democratic side got messy this week with Graham Plattner out, though he said he's dropping out, but he hasn't officially dropped out yet. A lot of people are wondering if that second shoe is going to fall. Susan Collins, best news for Susan Collins. Read the tea leaves for me. What's the latest when it comes to Maine?
Well, to your first point, he's gotten to close of business Monday to get himself off the ballot formally. Otherwise, he's on it, whether he wants to be or not. So he said he'd be off. I think we're indicating that it'll happen on Monday, but that's a bit of uncertainty going into the weekend. In the meantime, the Democrats will have a new process, a state convention with hundreds of delegates chosen from around the state, a kind of a snap election just in 2 weeks among that group of insiders. And it could be an election that determines control of the Senate. I mean, between that and the intra-party drama play out in the next couple of weeks in Michigan, where you have another progressive challenger who might potentially jeopardize a seat for Democrats. It could be that the Senate majority is worked out or dismantled over a couple of hot weeks in summer. And I know a lot of Democrats are upset about, and there's a lot of finger pointing about what happened in Maine to let a man with as many problems as Graham Plattner has had to become the nominee and kind of cruise to the nomination. But They have time to right the ship, but it's very hard to win the majority if you're the Democrats and you don't start with Maine.
And they've got only a short window here. You got to build up a whole Senate campaign and fundraising and a statewide base and everything else in this short time. And we know on a smaller scale, that's what Kamala Harris had to do on a larger scale. So we'll see if they can do that under the gun. Hey, I can ask you, because you were the only person there, how was the Great American State Fair?
I got evacuated. No, I'm kidding. Look, I know a lot of people that had fun there. I love state fairs. This didn't feel like a state fair. It felt hot and gross, which often state fairs can feel like, but didn't have that same kind of flavor and fun. But I hope people are getting their enjoyment by going out there. I think it's still up for another couple of weeks, so you can still get your corn dog or your maha food or whatever you want to do down there. But it hasn't quite been the event I think that was promised. But I don't want to take away from the fun that people have had.
Rick Klein, you've been off. I've been off. I haven't had a chance to ask you. Are you down from your New York Knicks NBA championship high yet?
Barely. I mean, I think the woes of the New York Yankees who are coming to town here in Washington this weekend have distracted me for a little while, but I'm still going to enjoy this the Knicks championship for a while. All the merch that I've ordered hasn't even arrived yet, so I can't be down from the full full feel.
Good, fair enough. I thought you were going to wear that at the Great American Fair, but I guess we'll have to wait till it comes in the mail. What's coming up Sundays with George?
Yeah, we're going to have some dispatches from both Maine and Michigan, as we talked about. Those are the two races that the Democrats are most worried about, this progressive energy and this rare loss in the progressive movement recently. We're going to be talking to Pramila Jayapal, who's the former chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Intriguingly, she was one of the few progressives that didn't endorse Graham Plattner. She was on the sidelines, even as Ro Khanna and Bernie Sanders and a whole range of others went all in. And we're going to be talking to Mike Waltz, the UN ambassador, about the situation in Iran and the fallout from that last NATO meeting. It does look like we're at war again, whether the president says so or not, in Iran. And that was one thing that was going to be the focus of this meeting that ended up kind of being a major distraction.
Never a lack of topics Sundays with George. Rick Klein, ABC News Political Director. Thanks, Rick. Have a good week.
Hey, thanks so much. Be well.
6:57 here, Big 550 KTRS. A lot of people don't know, but Rick Klein's dad was a big basketball coach for years and years and years. So he's a big basketball fan, even though he's an Atlanta Braves fan, which is bizarre. Or he's a Dale Murphy fan. He's not a Braves fan. He's a Dale Murphy fan. But we all have our crosses to bear in life. 6:57. Connor McCarthy in the St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
All right, McGraw, 2 updates on the last incidents. Crews have cleared the stalled vehicle on 70 westbound past Missouri 141. Now all lanes and shoulders open there. And the accident on 44 eastbound past Park, still closing down 2 lanes, causing a little bit of a backup there as more cars hit the road. Crews have not been able to clear the cars off the road yet. Still 2 lanes closed. Don't forget the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night tonight for a free showing of the Disney Classic Cars, face painting concession stage show, and then the movie. Catholic Charities will be collecting toys or non-perishable items for families in need. Presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
Oh, Connor, what's going on tonight?
That's the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night, McGraw.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell us more about it?
What's the movie?
It's the Disney Classic Cars.
Who's the comedian? Who's the
Larry the Cable Guy?
Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah, Larry the Cable Guy. I like him.
And Owen Wilson.
Yeah, I like Larry the Cable Guy. And he plays McQueen, right? He plays Speed McQueen?
Mater.
Mater. Oh, okay.
He's the tow truck.
Okay.
Tow Mater.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Connor McCarthy. Weather-wise, for the next couple of days, look, we got some storms. They are a-brewing. Today, high of 88 with scattered thunderstorms. Humidity is still up there, 71% humidity. 88 the high with damaging winds and large hail with some storms that coming in the afternoon. Overnight tonight, more of the same thunderstorms. Some could be severe. Winds could be heavy, damaging winds with hail. Low overnight of 72. Tomorrow, cloudy with a high of just 82. And then Sunday, more rain in the forecast. Again, hazy, hot, and humid the next couple of days with some severe storms in the forecast. Right now, 72 degrees at the Big 550 KTRS. Would you like to retire and tell your boss what you really think of him or her? Well, before you do that, hold on a second. Call Kevin Lloyd and get your ducks in a row, because Kevin Lloyd will help you come up with a true financial plan. In retirement, no one ever tells you this, but it's not about investments. It's about taxes. Investments are important. Don't get me wrong. But you got to get your taxes right. You got to reduce that tax liability so that you can have more money in your accounts to grow your accounts. How do you do that? You sit down with Kevin Lloyd at Legacy Wealth Advisors. This is what he does. Talk to his clients, talk to his people, talk to his advisors, and this is what they do all day, every day, finding ways to reduce your taxes, boost your Social Security check, keep that investments going. That's how you have a successful retirement. Call Kevin Lloyd, 314-641-1010, or the website whenretirementhappens.com. 7 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Iran bracing for additional strikes from the U.S. after Iran launched missiles and drones at U.S. military facilities in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. ABC Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz with more.
There were no new U.S. attacks overnight, despite 2 nights of bombing, and the fact that the president has declared the ceasefire over. This comes on the final day of a 6-day funeral service for the Ayatollah, killed in the opening rounds of this war well over 4 months ago. Massive crowds mourned the slain leader.
In Spain, flames spreading quickly, claiming at least 11 lives. The wildfires burning amid one of Spain's worst heat waves in decades. Dangerous flooding in some parts of this country, including central Missouri. Cars submerged in Cape Girardeau. Campers waiting for rescues in Iron and Reynolds counties, Missouri. Speaking out, the family of the man shot to death in Houston this week, who had been in the United States for 30 years but was undocumented.
This is Jim Ryan. ICE claims that Lorenzo Salgado Araujo fled from officers and tried to run over an agent Tuesday before he was shot to death. Lorenzo Salgado isn't buying it.
My dad was a hardworking man, a family man, who wanted nothing more than to put food on the table and to watch his sons achieve the American dream.
ICE agents don't have body-worn cameras. A DHS spokesperson blames funding interruptions caused by, quote, back-to-back Democrat shutdowns. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
More extreme heat on the way.
An extreme heat dome forming, and that means possibly record-breaking temperatures. Billings, Montana, if it gets up to 110 on Sunday, that would actually be your all-time record high. Meanwhile, the heat continues in a big way. Las Vegas, Palm Springs, Phoenix, heat warnings in effect in those areas from California all the way up to Montana.
ABC meteorologist Jeff Smith. Democrats in Maine putting another name on the ballot now that Graham Plattner has dropped out. This is ABC News.
This is the only station in the STL that has been live, local, and locally owned for 3 decades. The Big 550, KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Jacob.
And I'm Beth Jacob. We're the owners of Jacob Showers and Baths.
We specialize in helping seniors age in place with bath and shower designs that are both safe and aesthetically pleasing. We can replace your current tub with a low-threshold walk-in shower, add grab bars and seats, and the shower floor is a non-slick surface. Come visit our showrooms in Fenton and Fairview Heights.
Mention the McGraw Special or select the McGraw Show from our drop-down menu online. Our phone number is 800-222-6676 or visit us online at jacobbaths.com.
Celebrate America's 250th with Stars, Stripes, and Savings at Byerly RV. All month long, purchase any RV and receive a $250 gift card. Then join us July 10th and 11th for our in-store celebration. Stop by for additional savings and enter to win RV accessories. Plus, on Saturday, July 11th, enjoy Lunch on Us from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Celebrate freedom, adventure, and the open road during Stars, Stripes, and Savings at Byerly RV in Eureka.
Have some fun with your friends while eating great food. Of course, I'm talking about the Village Bar, the only place to watch the big game while eating the world's best cheeseburger. There's a reason people have made this their favorite hangout for decades. The game's on, and so is the grill. We'll see you at the Village Bar.
73 degrees at 7:03. Here's what's happening now. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department will conduct an internal affairs investigation of the department's juvenile division after the discovery of a child's remains earlier this week connected to a parental kidnapping case. The mother of Ron L. Jones Jr. claims St. Louis police failed by not taking her seriously after she reported her son was missing 2 years ago. St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy promises transparency. The child's mother ultimately filed another report with Deloge police in June, which led to the site where remains were uncovered in the Metro East. The child's father, 32-year-old Ronell Jones, and his girlfriend, 35-year-old Kirsty Dora, have been charged with parental kidnapping. A new law for driving while intoxicated has been signed by Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe. Bentley and Mason's Law is named after two children who became orphans when their parents were killed by a drunk driver in 2021. Under the new law, if the offender goes to jail, child support payments would start 1 year after release and continue until the child reaches the age of 18 or 21, depending on the child's age when their parent died. A federal appeals court is upholding Illinois' assault weapons ban. The 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals voted to uphold the Protect Illinois Communities Act. Governor J.B. Pritzker called the ruling a victory in the fight to end gun violence. Pritzker signed the measure into law in response to the deadly 4th of July shooting in Highland Park in 2022. St. Louis Alderman Rasheen Aldridge and President Megan Green filed a bill to place a bus rapid transit proposal on the April 7th ballot. It will be formally introduced at the full Board of Aldermen meeting this morning. A new restaurant is planned for Ballpark Village. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has the story.
The St. Louis Business Journal says award-winning chef Kevin Nashin has announced his intention to open the Clydesdale in the Budweiser Brewhouse. Nashin says he will partner with Live Hospitality and Entertainment on the project. He says the indoor-outdoor space will be an upscale restaurant combining timeless tavern nostalgia with elevated dining, and it will feature a patio along Clark Street. An opening timeline for the Clydesdale will be announced in the coming weeks, although a spokesperson says mid-August is targeted for a grand opening. Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 73 degrees. Time now is 7:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
A bipartisan housing bill to help ease some of the issues when it comes to housing, cutting red tape and putting some regulations and curtailing some of the hedge funds and these big companies from buying up houses and turning them into rentals, is sitting on the president's desk. He refuses to sign it, called it a yawner, and refused to sign it. Well, that's not how it works. It's been sitting on his desk for up to 10 days, and once that 10th day ends, it becomes the law, regardless of if the president signs it or not.
Now, he could veto it.
He could veto it, but who knows? We're going to talk to ABC News about that and what it all means and how that all works. I learned that from Schoolhouse Rock, right? He could veto it or he could sign it. But they didn't tell you it would just automatically become a law if he doesn't sign it.
It just sits there.
Stephen Portnoy going to be joining us. The latest on the reflecting pool, which this story kills me. But they're arresting a gentleman for vandalizing the pool, and he says, I did no such thing. Stephen Portnoy's got that whole story. Jim Ryan's in with some type of parasitic infection that is spreading to the States. He's doom and gloom, that guy. And then Will Gans is going to join us, talk a little entertainment. Can I, for a moment, take a moment and talk about the new Netflix series that I absolutely love?
Voicemails from Isabel.
Nope. Little House on the Prairie.
Okay. Did not see that one coming.
Who's the Michael Landon?
I don't know who the guy is.
Paul?
I don't know I haven't seen anybody in this show. But
all unknowns.
I loved Little House on the Prairie, the original. And the original movie, the TV movie.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Where Michael Landon and company cross over a river and they lost the dog and they end up in this prairie and they build the house. And then at the end of the 2-hour TV movie, the cavalry comes and says, you built on Indian land and you're going to have to move. And, Michael Landon, then the last scene is them leaving the house on the prairie. And then, like, the next season, they start in Walnut Creek, Minnesota, or Mankato, and that starts the series. I loved it all. I watched it all the way up through Alonzo, and when they blew up the town because they sold the town. I watched the whole thing. Loved it. Also loved the Waltons. Loved the Waltons. So, yesterday...
Luke Bracey, by the way, is Pa.
Okay. So yesterday, Emerson's and I'm like, hey, let's watch a movie. Let's watch Little House on the Prairie. No. So I'm like, I'm going to watch it. So I watch it. 10 minutes in, she's riveted. Because it's little kids, it's horses, it's rabbits, it's, the open prairie. And she's sitting there mesmerized. And I'm like, all right, well, you clearly don't want to watch this. Let me turn. No, Dad. No, Dad. If you want to watch it, we can watch it. It's one of those deals. And it was fantastic. Now, did you know that Mr. Edwards, no, I don't think I'm ruining anything here. They gave Mr. Edwards a backstory. And I think the actor's name was Victor French, right? Was that
yes?
Yes.
And he was on Highway to Heaven. With
he was on Highway to Heaven.
Dude with the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they gave him a backstory, and I don't know if on Little House on the Prairie original they gave him a backstory, but in this one on Netflix, he lost his wife, he lost his child, and he gets into the drink.
Well, who is Mr. Edwards? First of all, who is he to the prayer? I forget. You have to refresh my memory here.
He was the
friend of the town.
This
right.
friend
So he wasn't
they
like
just picked up along the way.
The store owner guy too, right? I remember that guy.
No, that was
that's the Olsons.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, right.
Nellie
right.
Olson was the. Yeah.
She was horrible, right? And he was the nice guy.
She's not in this season. She's going to be in next season.
Oh, Nellie Olson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nellie was the worst.
I haven't read those books, but. I have.
You should read. You should. My mom used to read them to me.
I have.
Some would like.
Yeah, I bet you she would. I read some Willa Cather, which is so insanely good. I can't believe how good Willa Cather is. Just in terms of that, on the prairie, the open sky, the loneliness, the struggle to survive, trying to stake out a claim in the West. It was. Somebody made me read Willa Cather, and once I picked up the book, I couldn't put it. Was so engrossing. But it's that same sort of. I'm assuming the books are more children's books.
Well, and how much is it based on Laura Ingalls Wilder, like real life? Like how much of it is true story? Like, does all this really have like a majority of what she?
I think it's her stories of her growing up.
Wow.
With a Little House on the Prairie.
The first one's Little House in the Big Woods. Little House on the Prairie is the second one, and then Farmer Boy and On the Banks of Plum Creek. I had the whole set, and then there were the first 8 books, and then there was the first 4 years, which tells the story of her being married.
And they're easy read. They're like young adult kind of things. So that would be a great thing because
I'm going to order those.
Forward to it.
What a great story! But the TV show was, and I didn't know Mr. Edwards. Right, he got his drink on, and so he was struggling with alcohol. So they deal with real life issues, and then so they're setting up camp in Independence, Missouri, and it isn't like they're walking down the street from Harry Truman's house. There is no Independence, Missouri. There's just
it's 1800.
Oh, so it wasn't the Mormon Mecca?
No, it's
sacred ground yet.
Just a prairie next to a river, and they're calling it Independence, and they're talking about how they want to build a church and a library and a school. And they if you're here and the Osage Nation owns the land, the federal government's going to buy it from the Osage Nation, and it's this sort of struggle, and it's just I don't know,
it's great.
Oh my goodness!
So how many of the 8 episodes did you?
I think we watched like 1.5, but she was engrossed by it. I was engrossed by it.
Get her the books.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah, but if you're, and then there was no aliens, there was no car chases, there was no.
Well, and it's funny you say that because Little House. My mom read books, it was The Hobbit and Little House on the Prairie at the same time, and it was funny how like I gravitated towards. I just wasn't that much into the suspension of belief.
The fantasy.
Yes, so that was like when you're a kid, because I think my sister did. So that's how I guess as a parent you kind of figure out. Because I was like, I wanted Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Because I loved it. I could picture him salting the meat and all this stuff that was easy to. Whereas The Hobbit, it was hard to get into like Bilbo Baggins, and I just wasn't.
The Shire.
Well, the scene opens up where she's in the prairie with a slingshot trying to kill a rabbit, and then there's another scene where she's off and she comes back and he's like, "Hey, half pint," and she's holding like 2 birds.
Oh,
so
half pint! I forgot he called it.
She went out and got dinner for the night with the 2 birds, and it's a little bit. It's a little more rustic. Than the original Little House on the Prairie.
Do they all tumble down the hill in the
They
opening credits?
They did not tumble down the.
And they only have 2 kids right now, right?
Yes.
Carrie's not been born.
Carrie's not been born, right? Yeah. And then there's a great scene where Laura Ingalls is telling Mr. Edwards that she's heartbroken because Dad wants a boy, and Mr. Edwards says, your dad won't love a boy any more than he already loves you, and it's really touching. It's really very sweet. And that Mr. Edwards, that broken-hearted man who's, it's really good. I mean, really, really, really good.
I forgot he was in Little House because I remember he's in
Highway to Heaven.
Highway to Heaven, where Michael Landon cries on every episode.
I loved Highway to Heaven.
What's not to love?
Highway to Heaven was fan. It was like that in Quantum Leap.
Yeah, and Columbo comes on right. Totally.
Connor McCarthy. Unfortunately, Connor, you were too young to appreciate Highway to Heaven.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was an angel, and he went around doing good deeds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It'd be like touched by an angel. It'd be the same thing with
It was
Maura
the same
Downey.
thing.
I like Columbo, though. I've seen Columbo.
Columbo's excellent.
Actually, Quincy was the best.
Was he the doctor? He
medical
was
examiner.
He was a coroner.
The medical examiner.
He was a coroner who solved crimes by day, coroner by night.
Hey, this dead body's telling you something.
And like at the end of every episode, he had like 3 women in his.
No.
Yeah. They would be like, "Well, you solved another one, Quincy," and there was like 3 women in his apartment.
Because women are super into coroners.
Yeah, it was. Quincy was the best. All right, Connor McCarthy, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
All right, McGraw crews have worked to clear that crash that was on 44 eastbound past Park Ave. Not causing any more traffic anymore as the lanes are open back up. And no other incidents or accidents to report at the moment. We are getting a little bit of a slowdown on 55 southbound leaving the city, but that's only a slight slowdown. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night tonight for a free showing of the Disney Classic Cars, face painting concessions, stage show, and the movie. Catholic Charities will be collecting toys or non-perishable items for families in need. Presented by the Royal Banks of Missouri. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Any rain moves out by the morning commute. 74 for the low, 89 for the afternoon high Friday, and another chance for an isolated but strong to severe storm, mainly in the afternoon to evening Friday. So another First Alert weather day as we monitor that risk. Damaging winds will be the primary risk. Saturday, just a 30% chance of a shower storm, mainly in the morning, and 85 for the high. A lot of dry time, though, Saturday, and dry for Sunday. Partly cloudy and a high of 88. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Beck Elder Law or BeckElderLaw.com. You have got to protect your family assets, whether it's grandma and grandpa, your assets onto the next generation. You've got to protect them and make sure you want your wishes to be carried out. BeckElderLaw.com. Mom and dad going into the next phase of their life. Maybe they need some assistance in a community home or something. And guess what? When it's all said and done, that needs to be buttoned up as well. And since we went through it, you don't know where to turn. It's very confusing, and you get a lot of misinformation. That's why Rudy Beck, Matthew Furr, Jay Lennox, and Carolyn Stoltzer are there to help. Call, make an appointment, come in, sit down with them. It's a free consultation. Get a sense of the roadmap. Get a sense of what your options are. Right now, you're flailing around. I know. I've been there. And, of course, we all put our head in the sand and say, oh, we'll deal with it tomorrow. Someday you're going to run out of tomorrows. Get it on the calendar right now. 50-plus years they've been doing this. Their office is in St. Charles, but they'll work in Illinois. They'll work north, south, east, and west. The trusted estate planning and elder law. Beck, Lennox, Stoltzer, Matthew Furr, together. They're the well-respected and trusted team of BeckElderLaw.com. 636-946-7899 or BeckElderLaw.com.
Hi, it's Julie Buck. You know, many people know Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital for its inpatient services, but its outpatient therapy program is also helping children thrive. Specializing in care for children with complex medical needs, Rankin Jordan offers physical, occupational, speech, and aquatic therapy in a welcoming, fun environment. The hospital is also home to the region's only warm water pediatric therapy pool. And parents can get in too. To find out more, talk to your doctor or visit rankinjordan.org.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on. And that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
It was a housing bill that was on its way to great fanfare. President Trump pulled the plug and said it's not that big of a deal. He did not sign it. It was one of the few bipartisan bills that both Republicans and Democrats could champion, and now it sits on his desk. Olivia Rubin, ABC News reporter. Thanks for joining us, Olivia. What is the latest with this bill?
Thanks for having me. Today is the deadline for what President Trump is going to do with this bill. As you say, it's sitting on his desk, and it's at the end of that 10-day clock, which he has to sign this bill or to do nothing. And those are sort of some of the three options here. He could sign the bill and it could become law. He could ignore the bill and it would, by law, become law because the 10-day clock expired. Or he could take the extraordinary step of actually vetoing the bill if he really wants to do that, in which case it could go back to Congress and they could see if they have the votes to override that veto. But it's an important issue and one that a lot of people are keeping a close eye on because it relates to an issue that Americans say is so important to them right now, and that is the issue of affordability. And now you actually have a bill, a bipartisan bill in Congress that seeks to tackle that, trying to increase housing availability to try to bring some of those prices down. And again, the president taking that extraordinary step last month of actually canceling the signing because he says what's more important is the bill to essentially overhaul American elections, the voter ID law, scaling back mail-in ballots, a bill that Senate Republicans have made very clear they don't have the votes to pass, but President Trump has said this housing bill is, quote, so unimportant when compared to that voting bill. He's also called it a yawn.
Yeah, it's really interesting. This bill would do a number of things, including make it harder for big hedge funds to buy up single-family homes and turn them into renters, easier to lend money for borrowers, also cutting some of the red tape so developers could sort of build more homes faster. So there's a lot of things in there that a lot of people think will sort of loosen up the housing market. It is odd that President Trump doesn't want to sign it and sort of take the win. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, sent it to the president. So has the president said anything about this in the last couple of days? I know he's been busy with a war and the plane and Mitch McConnell and everything else, but has the White House signaled what they want to do with this bill?
The president was actually asked about this when he was on his way home from that NATO trip to Turkey. And he didn't say one way or the other what he was going to do, but he did reiterate that what he thinks is actually important is the voter ID law. But he, again, has not said one way or the other what he plans to do today. And that's going to be the big question of the day. And if you're a congressional Republican, you've got to think that you're calling the White House saying, get him to sign the bill. It's an easy win that we can take home to our constituents. Because remember, this is an election year. It's an issue that Americans say is on their mind. And Republicans were excited to have something that they could tout on the issue of affordability when they have been struggling in other areas. Specifically, you mentioned the war. Think about gas prices have been higher because of the tariffs. Some Americans facing higher grocery bills. So it's been an issue that they're combating. But here, when it comes to housing, they could take this win home and say, hey, maybe building a house or buying a house will be a little bit easier for you and your family. And maybe they still could take that win home if the president just lets it expire and it goes into law anyway. Congressional Republicans, congressional Democrats can tout a rare bipartisan win that they were able to get in Congress. But certainly you'd think it's a win that the Republicans would want to scoop up just a few months out of the midterms.
Yeah, Olivia Rubin, ABC News investigative reporter. Olivia, thanks for checking in. Have a good day.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
This bill is actually really very interesting. One of the things it would do is, listen to this. So manufactured homes aren't just trailer parks or trailer homes, right? Manufactured homes is actually a very real part of the home building process, where you can build it in the security of a factory and then get it sent to the house, sent it to the job site, and then instead of building the wall there, the wall's already built, and then you attach the wall, right? Manufactured in the factory and then sent prefab. And it at one point it got a negative connotation, but if you look at any of the prefab homes today, what they can do is pretty extraordinary stuff. And one of the problems with manufactured homes is that there is a federal law that says they must be delivered on a steel chassis. And so, which can be expensive. It also limits the size and the style you can build. So they're going to change those regulations so that they'll be able to build these modular homes, and these modular homes will be able to be delivered in a safe and effective way, but without this red tape. And they're expecting that with this change in this bill, because it's now going to be easier to deliver these homes, that you're going to start to see sort of this creativity of second stories and all sorts of new things, because now you'll be able to deliver more than what you have been able to. So you'll be able to expand on all these manufactured homes. And some people are saying that this might, it's cheaper, it's more effective to build in the factory and then just deliver it on site, as opposed to deliver all the materials on site and then build it there, stick by stick. And so...
what was the reasoning, do you know, behind the steel chassis?
For whatever reason, that's how the steel chassis industry wanted to, protect the steel chassis trucks or whatever. And so, yeah, it's...
Because I'm kind of like, if they put it in service for a reason, right? And if we're like just getting rid of it so that we can have more homes, I'm like, does that mean it's going to be less? Like, I feel like there was a reason why they were like, it has to be steel chassis.
Yeah.
Unless the company of steel chassis.
Yeah, basically you were just sort of regulated, limited to what could be delivered. Okay. And so now that they're making it, they're loosening the regulations on what can be delivered and how, they're saying that this is going to be a boon for manufactured homes.
Is that like how the ones you can buy on Amazon? Like these tiny homes and stuff?
I think it's a little different, but yeah, you can get a shed and get the shed delivered type of deal. But I think the sheds they build on site. And I think those are kits where you just they deliver the kit and then you have to put the kit together.
Right, and some of them are like they're ready. Like you just have to hook up your utilities and stuff to it. But it's like literally get a home delivered.
Right, but oftentimes you see a manufactured home driving down the street with a wide load.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, now you can sort of deliver it in pieces and everything else, and so you'll be able to sort of do more. Because you don't necessarily have to just deliver it the certain way.
Can you imagine like what Laura Ingalls Wilder would think about getting a prefab home delivered to the prairie?
I totally thought about that yesterday when I was watching that.
Right.
I was like, if you could just sit and just stop and. By the way, in 2026, you'll be able to on your phone look up you and your. I often think this, like Mr. Edwards.
Yeah.
Do you ever think if you ever tapped Mr. Edwards on the shoulder in 1875, said, "Oh, by the way, in 2026 you're going to become a TV icon.
Right.
Your life is going to be depicted on TV for the whole world to see."
What's TV?
Right. Yeah.
True.
728 here, Big 550 KTRS. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center.
All right, McGraw, crews have cleared the accident off of 44 southbound past Park Avenue, and crews have also cleared a stalled vehicle that was on 270 eastbound before 367. That was in the right lane, closing that down. And emergency vehicles are on the scene and 44 eastbound at Lindbergh, closing the middle lane of the highway. All other lanes open, not causing too much of a slowdown, although the middle lane is closed. This traffic update is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
75 degrees right now, Big 550 KTRS, on our way to the mid to upper 80s. Maybe some thunderstorms this afternoon, some damaging winds, some large hail. Beatty Roofing is right around the corner if you need them. More rain and thunderstorms overnight tonight. Again, some strong winds, damaging hail could happen. They're calling for up to an inch of rain overnight with a low of 71. Tomorrow, we've got some rain in the forecast. Again, some periods of rain on Saturday with a high of 82, and maybe a couple of thunderstorms along the way on Sunday with a high of 84. Humidity, temperature's not too bad. Humidity is going to be up over 75%. 7:30, let's go to the newsroom. Once again, here's Rose Dalton.
This newscast is brought to you by Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. China has successfully recaptured the first stage of a rocket after a launch, marking a breakthrough for its space program. The Long March 10B rocket's first stage separated after liftoff and returned to a platform in the sea. A new AP poll finds that many Jewish Americans feel unsafe in the United States, with the majority saying they feel less safe than they did before Hamas's October 7th of 2023 attack on Israel. About 3 in 10 say they or members of their household have experienced physical assault, verbal assault, online harassment, or damaged property because of their Jewish background in the last year. In local headlines, a proposal on a temporary ban of new apartment building projects in O'Fallon was the focus of an intense debate during a public meeting last night. Supporters feel a one-year moratorium would give the city time to come up with new standards. Opponents disagree, arguing the council already has the power to use discretion when reviewing such projects and fear a temporary ban could negatively impact the city's long-term growth. And the annual St. Charles Market Watermelon Festival will be held this weekend. The event will be held along historic Main Street on Saturday from 7:30 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon and will include fresh produce, vendors, and a watermelon eating contest. Are you or a family member turning 65? Are you happy with your current health plan? For the right plan, call the Medicare man, Ryan Raphael, at 314-368-6808. 74 degrees. Time now is 7:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Speaking of home buying and buying a home, we know how difficult it can be. That's well documented. But you still got to get a mortgage. And how are you going to get that mortgage? Stuart at Stuart's American Mortgage is your go-to. And he has been a sponsor of this show for 10, 11, 12 years, whatever it may be. Good friend of the show. Good friend. And he runs a mortgage company. And he is where you go to get mortgages, whether you're refinancing the house or you're buying a house. Now, why would you go to Stewart as opposed to somebody else? Well, here's the deal. They all have the same rates. That's just the dirty little secret about the industry, right? They're all hovering around the same because they all go to the same banks. They all go to the whole industry's set up. That's what you do. You go and you plug in all the numbers and the BAT machine sends out the interest rate. So choosing interest rates is really a red herring because it's all kind of the same. Fees are a different story because they can charge anything they want when it comes to fees. And Stewart has the bagel loan, which is anything over $200,000. If you're borrowing over $200,000, there are zero fees. Now, when I say zero fees, I don't mean like some fees. I mean zero fees. No closing costs, no origination costs, no cost to check your credit score. Zero. Bagel, nothing, no fees. Why would you go somewhere that has the same interest rate and charge you $10,000 in fees when Stewart has the same interest rate and will charge you zero in fees? Explain that one to me. I can't. Just call Stewart, 314-324-4440 or stewartsamc.com.
It's hot out. But nothing can be hotter this summer than a Dogtown pizza. Hey, Josh here, and we're talking 425 degrees hot. 12 different varieties, and a whole bunch of fresh toppings. Try the bacon, the 4-meat, or head to the garden for a veggie or tomato basil garlic.
Oh, you want to get hot?
Try the hot chicken pizza on for size. Sizzling. This summer's already hot, but make it even hotter with some Dogtown Pizza. Every local grocery store in town and at dogtownpizza.com.
Are you looking to buy a new home, set money aside for college, or start planning for retirement? Royal Banks of Missouri is here to create a personalized savings strategy that works for you and your financial goals. From roundup savings to money market to individual retirement accounts, they offer a variety of options to help you save for life's most memorable moments. Call 314-212-1500 or visit a location near you to learn more. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Missouri Laborers Union and their contractors build our communities. Chances are your church, school, grocery store, or gas station was built by contractors using union laborers. They take great pride in their work and accomplishments and love to go by an old project and say, I built that. The men and women of the Missouri Laborers Union and their contractors, taking pride in building our communities. Go to buildunion.com for more information. That's buildunion.com.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. Plus, when you schedule your appointment before July 12th, you'll receive an additional $250 off your entire purchase. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Stephen Portnoy joins us, ABC News correspondent. Stephen, of all the stories, this one is confounding because it just won't go away, and so much attention has been made to the reflecting pool on the National Mall. They've now arrested somebody and charged him. What's going on here?
Well, the guy who they've charged is charged with a felony that's punishable by up to 10 years in prison. And this is a canoeist who was on the U.S. Olympic team who says that all he did was touch a loose piece of blue liner that he saw floating in the reflecting pool, that he didn't rip or tear anything, but nevertheless he was arrested and he has been charged with felony destruction of property, which, well, that's a pretty significant offense under D.C. law, and yesterday he was in court to plead not guilty. His attorney, Norm Eisen, said afterward that this should shock and offend and scare every American. The idea that an innocent man could be charged with a felony for touching water, as the attorney put it. But when prosecutors successfully sought an indictment against David Hearn, the U.S. Attorney for Washington, Jeanine Pirro, said that there's evidence that this man grabbed it with both hands and that he had words with a National Park Service employee when she told him to stop. And according to Pirro, David Hearn turned and said, "What do you care? It's not your pool," or something along those lines. And I suppose this will all wind up playing out in D.C. Superior Court, which is where the charges have been entered. Yesterday, Norm Eisen, the defense attorney, said that he expects a fair amount of discovery in this case, which suggests to me that they intend to dig through the documents of the National Park Service, the Interior Department, maybe even the White House, to see whether there's any evidence that this was all an effort to try to bolster the president's claim that whatever problems have been going on at the reflecting pool are a function of vandalism.
There's probably, this is the most secure public place in America with video cameras and pictures and anything else. What kind of evidence does the government have to prove their case?
That's not entirely clear. In fact, when Jeanine Pirro was asked at the time the indictment was handed up, she simply said that there's evidence. She wouldn't say what. Perhaps it's witness testimony from, for example, the National Park Service employee. Maybe there's body cam footage from the arresting officers. I don't know. But when it comes to whether there were cameras trained on the reflecting pool during the construction, which is not when David Hearn was arrested, but weeks earlier, you know, it's been since alleged that, you know, the president's talked about it, 350 feet of gashes in the side of the reflecting pool, not the liner at the bottom per se, because, you know, there's been a lot of different things going on. You've had the ongoing renovation work, the painting the American flag blue liner, the algae, and then ultimately the liner coming up. And the president has said that all of it is tied to vandalism, which doesn't really make a full amount of sense. Some of it could, if there have been gashes put in place, but it gets to your question about cameras. According to authorities, during the construction, when it's alleged that gashes were made, there were no cameras fixed at that time on the reflecting pool, which, by the way, is about a third of a mile in length. It's quite long, 12 Olympic swimming pools end to end. And you can imagine how difficult it would be with, even the highest quality lens to truly capture the broad expanse of it well enough to capture any kind of usable evidence. What you have now is multiple cameras staged throughout and fencing and a police presence, which arguably there was a police presence at the time of the construction, maybe even overnight, but nevertheless, there's still this allegation that it happened, that there were gashes made. And no one's alleging that David Hearn, as far as I know, no one's alleging that David Hearn used a knife. He says he touched a piece of liner that was already floating in the water. So I guess we'll have to see.
He videotaped himself doing this, or has video of himself doing this, or no?
I don't know that.
Okay.
There's a possibility. I'm just speculating.
Sure.
Perhaps the Park Service, the Park Police, who took him into custody, may have video. There's an online influencer who's been posting videos of things that she's seen and sort of documentary evidence of what's been going on at the reflecting pool, who says she has video of the arrest, but I don't know that there's any video of David Hearn actually reaching into the water.
Yeah. Anybody else arrested for the similar violations?
It's a good question. In fact, yesterday, 3 more people were charged with destruction of property, misdemeanor charges here. The difference is apparently the suggestion that the damage was worth more than $1,000 or less. And in the case of these 3 individuals, because they're charged with a misdemeanor, the allegation is they caused less than $1,000 worth of damage. David Hearn is charged with causing more than $1,000 worth of damage. How they're able to prove it is unclear, but they did get an indictment, and that means that a majority of the 23 grand jurors found that there was probable cause to bring charges.
There you go. Stay right there. Stephen Portnoy, good stuff. We'll wait till you come back and fill us in on the next. Have a good one. Thanks, Stephen. You got it. 742 here, Big 550 KTRS. Well, that's a step in the right direction. They're now getting at least grand juries to bring charges. For a while there, they couldn't get any grand juries to indict anybody they were bringing in, so at least they're headed in the right direction over there. Jim Ryan's up at 750, 742 right now, Big 550 KTRS. Miller Furniture, Mueller. Miller. Looks like Mueller, but you pronounce it Miller. Now, this weekend, good weekend to go out and do a little shopping. Maybe you're looking for some type of furniture, a new couch, new TV stand, maybe a new end table, dining room table, kitchen table, chairs, you name it. Miller Furniture's got them. And they got all sorts of styles and designs. They also have great pricing. They also have 0% financing, sometimes up to 60 months. Use their money instead of your money. And, they've also got a tremendous selection of mattresses at Miller Furniture. So American-made quality, St. Louis company that is doing it right for coming up on 100 years. Miller, 4 locations. Lake St. Louis out at the Meadows. Fairview Heights in Illinois, that's an old weekends only, which tells you something. They've got accessories and lamps and chairs and bar stools and the largest selection of mattresses and box springs and bases and everything else when it comes to Fairview Heights. Also in Ellisville on Manchester Road. And then, of course, Belleville is their world headquarters. It's a great family, great company. They have interior designers to help you. You go in today, you go in 6 months from now, the same people will be there to help you. They will remember you. That's what an interior designer does. Miller Furniture, this is the way it's supposed to be. Mueller, Miller Furniture, or MillerFurniture.com. 744, Connor McCarthy, one more time in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
All right, McGraw, there's a developing situation here on 44 eastbound at Lindbergh. There's a stalled vehicle in the right shoulder, as well as emergency vehicles closing the middle lane of the highway down, causing some slowdown there. Crews have been working this one for the last 15 or 20 minutes, and it's not off of the road. There also was a emergency vehicles on 70 eastbound, or I should say westbound, right at the airport road. That is been cleared off the lane. That was closing down the left lane, now fully cleared. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair, free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
Dangerous flooding ongoing in some areas south of St. Louis this morning. We're talking Raleigh to Farmington and farther south. For the rest of us, kind of a waiting game today with a lot of dry time through the midday hours. But then we watch for scattered storms to pop up again this afternoon into tonight. Some of those could produce some strong winds and add to that flood risk. 89 for the high today. Scattered rain and storms tonight, too, into early Saturday, down to 73 for the low. And then it's hit and miss rain Saturday morning and afternoon. More clouds tomorrow, too, with a high of 85. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's Christmas in July all month long here at KTRS. Come out to Westport Plaza for family movie night and a free showing of Disney's classic Cars. Face painting and concessions start at 6. The stage show starts at 7. The movie starts at 7:05. Don't worry about the weather. Once the sun goes down, it will be nice. So movie starts at 7:05. The credits roll at 7:45. Help families in need by bringing a new unwrapped toy or a non-perishable item. The first 75 people to bring a toy will get a free ticket to Disney on Ice presents Find Your Hero. That's performing this September at the Chaffetz Arena, and a specialty shake at the Soda Fountain, which is a fun little place to come out here out at Westport. That's a sweet deal. So bring a new unwrapped toy or non-perishable item, and the first 75 people get tickets to Disney on Ice and get a shake from the Soda Fountain. That's a free movie night. It's tonight at Westport Plaza, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. We'll see you there.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemaristudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemaristudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group, and as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
Hey, this is Zipper Zeppa. You know, St. Louis has great sports, great entertainment. Time for some great conversation. That's why I'm excited to invite you to the Mater Media Speaker Series. We're bringing in Bill O'Reilly, Cardinal Dolan, John O'Leary, other national speakers at the J. Scheidegger Center for the Arts, Lindenwood University. Tickets are on sale. Don't wait. Early bird pricing going on now. Go to matermedia.org. That's MATERMEDIA.org.
The tradition continues on Saturday, July 25th when the Cardinals play the Cincinnati Reds. That day you can take home the fan favorite Victory Blue jersey, just like the one the Cardinals wear every road Saturday, presented by Stiefel. It's a clean, classic look that stands out all season long. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. Step into Saturday in Victory Blue. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Michael McGreevy. See you at Busch Stadium.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to LuptonMillardChapel.com.
Hi, it's Julie Buck to tell you about a trusted family business that I've been working with for years, Easter Fence and Deck. Chuck Easter and his family have been the go-to fence and deck company in the St. Louis area for more than 70 years. And when it comes to sunrooms, Easter Fence and Deck offers the top-of-the-line Better Living sunrooms that are absolutely spectacular. When it comes to fences, decks, and sunrooms, I would invite you to do what my family has done for years and trust the family-owned Easter Fence and Deck online at easterfence.com.
McGraw, live in the morning on KTRS.
Oh, it's a tragedy, all right. 7:51 here, Big 550 KTRS. Hopefully you finished your Wheaties and your breakfast. Jim Ryan's joining us. Jim, I don't know where you find these stories. What's going on with this parasitic infection? What should we know about?
Well, it's spread to 18 states now, at least 18 according to the CDC, could be more than that. And the number of people who have been infected with it is probably higher than we know at this point, McGraw. But in Michigan alone, 1,000 cases of this. It spread from person to person, not through personal contact, but from contaminated food and water. So it's thought that somebody maybe traveled overseas or someplace where this is more common, brought it back with them, then did not practice good hygiene, if you will. Prepared some food, maybe passed it on to a family member, and it spread out from there. So, yeah, it's no cases have been seen yet in Missouri, which is good news for you. Over in Kansas, they have had a couple dozen cases.
Okay, they're calling it a parasitic infection spread to, as you said, at least 18 states. Where did it start, and how do we avoid it?
Well, you avoid it by washing food very carefully, washing your hands carefully. And I mean, especially if you're dealing with produce, fruits and vegetables, making sure that you're washing them and doing so in an extra vigorous way. And your hands before you cook, after you go to the bathroom. That kind of hints at how this is spread around. It's just like E. coli. This one, cyclosporiasis, is sort of catching on here. And yeah, McGraw, it can be a problem.
Do we know where it started?
No telling. And we might never know where it started. Who brought it into the country, which state I suspect it might have been Michigan because that's where the lion's share of cases is. 1,000 cases there, about 400 cases in New York State, and those are the top two. So yeah, I think it stands to reason. So Taco Bell in Michigan has taken certain items off its menu: tomatoes, cilantro, fresh onions, those sorts of things that are a staple of Taco Bell food. You won't find there.
Yeah. Okay. So just so I understand, it originally started with fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's
fruits, vegetables, and possibly water. So think of E. coli, right? How you might catch E. coli. You get it primarily from contaminated food or water, and that's how this is spread too.
Once you get it, you're sick. But I mean, do you recover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to kill you. It's going to give you weight loss. It's going to make you fatigued. It's going to give you what doctors call explosive diarrhea and dehydration. Dehydration is about the only thing that will put you in the hospital. But people generally are treating the symptoms at home, and they get over it within a week or so.
Yeah. All right. So the advice from Dr. Jim Ryan is to wash your fruits and vegetables, wash your hands, wash everything before you sit down and eat.
You know what I did last night? I made some guacamole. Homemade ingredients, homegrown ingredients. That'll keep you from getting sick, and it's delicious.
But you wash the guacamole and everything beforehand?
No, I made it myself. It came out of the garden.
Oh, so you didn't even wash it
But
afterwards?
I did wash them.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Because I ain't coming over to Jim Ryan's house for guacamole if it ain't washed. Jim Ryan, ABC News. Try and find a nicer story for us tomorrow, will you? Holy mackerel. All right, good.
See you, McGraw.
Thanks, Jim. Jim Ryan, ABC News, one of the good ones. Parasitic infections spread to 18 different states. Food-borne illness. According to the CDC, the advice, wash everything. Wash your tomatoes and cilantro. And
shouldn't you do that anyway?
You kind of should do that anyway, but 18 states have reported cases of this.
You can grow avocados to make your own guacamole?
I guess in Texas you can.
How do they know that it's what sets this parasitic infection apart from every other
parasitic?
I just mean, how do they know this?
It's sort of like E. coli, right? I mean, how do you know that it comes from this batch of lettuce and this tea and this town and this whatever?
Taco Bell, why is Taco Bell the one that's?
I know poor Taco Bell sort of getting picked on. They're doing the right thing. They're taking tomatoes off the menu. They should be applauded. So there you go.
So no more Supreme Taco for you.
All right, or no tomatoes in your taco.
That's right. That's what makes it Supreme, right? And the sour cream.
No, the Supreme makes it the.
No, I thought it's the tomato and the sour cream make it Supreme.
I thought it was just the sour cream made it Supreme.
Well, because I don't like tomatoes on my a regular taco. I think just comes with lettuce. Supreme it up with some tomato and sour cream.
In college, they had a place called Amigos. It was a franchise. They don't have those here, do they?
We had Noggles.
Noggles. Yeah.
We have no friends here.
They had the late night crispy meat burrito was rock solid after the bars.
Late night crispy meat burrito.
Yeah, those were rock solid. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys didn't have Noggles?
No, we had Amigos because I coined it wherever my friends goes, Amigos.
Boo.
Meep, meep.
It's pretty good.
It
is.
Wherever my friends goes, Amigos. Because somebody would say, hey, Amigos? And I'd be like, wherever my friends goes, Amigos. They're like, get in the car, Millhaven, and shut up.
You're driving.
Right? It's rock solid right there.
Yeah. It is good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Thank
College
you.
humor.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it in Amigos outside of like Lincoln and Omaha.
Oh, yeah. I've never.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still around, but and then of course you had the Runza.
I think the parasitic infection is giving you the Runza.
No.
Hey.
This is not. When has this become a juvenile show?
I mean, you had
This place is called a Runza, and it's a hot pocket of meat.
It's like a calzone.
It's more steamed than sort of baked, but yeah. Captain Paul Kopsky's out. Connor McCarthy is in the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
All right, McGraw, 44 eastbound at Lindbergh has had the middle lane closed with emergency vehicles on the scene for the last half an hour. That due to a disabled vehicle that left some large debris in the middle lane, and the crews are still working to clear off of the road. Middle lane is still closed there. We also have an accident on 64 West at Poplar Street Bridge. Not causing too much of a slowdown there, but it is a little bit backed up as you cross the bridge. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night tonight for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars, face painting, concessions, stage show, and the movie. Catholic Charities will be collecting toys or non-perishable items for families in need, presented by the Royal Banks of Missouri. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, superfan Aaron here. Sounds like my state after I returned from vacation on the Mexican Riviera. Hey-o. Never thought I would have heard tomatoes, cilantro, and lettuce as staples of Taco Bell. I wonder if you could get Connor's name right if you had to apologize on the air every time you flubbed it. I've only called him Captain Paul like once or twice.
An hour.
No. Let's see here. The president and the Secret Service drove through the coated pool with Chevy Suburbans before the water was added. Our house is a modular home. We bought it in 2000, and we love it. So there you go. All right. Let's talk Reese Nichols. Speaking of modular homes, buying and selling homes, very difficult in this environment. with interest rates elevated, even though you're getting a 6.5% interest rate, it's still historically a wonderful rate. So I know it's not as good as, say, a 3% or a 4% rate, but 6.5 historically is pretty good. Considering my parents, I think when they bought their house, at one point it was like a 12, 13% interest rate, and they were happy to have it. Imagine that. Think about those days. But the point is this. Buying and selling a home is not easy today, and that's why Reese Nichols is on the front line. It is a company that has its roots here in St. Louis for generations. They just recently changed their name back to Reese Nichols. For whatever reason, they weren't Reese Nichols. So the same great agents that you've come to know, the same great agents you've come to respect, buying and selling, marketing, listing, contracts, all of that is much different than it was even 5, 10, 20 years ago. At Reese Nichols, they're on the front lines helping you. Big supporters of St. Louis charities, including the Ronald McDonald House. If you want the expertise to help you buy or sell, Reese Nichols or reesenichols.com. 8 o'clock, KTR St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. As we head into the weekend, a warning about a parasitic infection that is making life miserable for people in at least 18 states. ABC's Jim Ryan has more on its spread.
The CDC is trying to trace the source of the cyclosporiasis that has sickened over 1,000 people in Michigan alone, but with cases reported in 17 more states. The best way to avoid the fatigue, stomach cramps, and severe diarrhea that comes with cyclosporiasis is to thoroughly wash your hands before preparing food and to thoroughly wash the fresh produce you're preparing.
Taco Bell pulling tomatoes, lettuce, cilantro, and raw onions from its menu in hard-hit Michigan. Severe flooding in central Missouri. Reynolds and Iron counties fielding reports of multiple campsites with campers in trees unable to get down. Swift water teams from around the state are helping out. Extreme heat warnings for much of the country over the weekend. And in Spain, the heat wave triggering wildfires that have so far claimed 12 lives. The ICE agents involved in a deadly shooting this week in Houston were not wearing body cameras, but they say 52-year-old Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was using his vehicle as a weapon.
The Washington Post now reporting migrants who were in the car with Salgado Araujo, through statements given to their lawyer, dispute key parts of ICE's narrative. One writing, it is impossible for them to say that they were going to get run over. There were no officers in front of or behind the vehicle. They were on the sides.
ABC's Jay O'Brien, DHS officials say Salgado was pulled over because he resembled the target of another investigation. Following final funeral services for former Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in Iran, there have been no new U.S. attacks. However, says ABC's Martha Raddatz,
Iran is still bracing for additional strikes from the U.S. after Iran launched missiles and drones at U.S. military facilities in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. All of those missiles were intercepted.
ABC's Martha Raddatz. You're listening to ABC News.
30 years going strong. We are live, local and locally owned. This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis.
Hear me out. What if we go to White Castle and get the new garlic parm chicken sliders with juicy chicken, crispy onions, and garlic parm sauce? And what if we get the combo with 2 sliders, mozzarella sticks, and a drink? Yeah, that's a thing. And it's only $6.99. As your castle craving, it's my job to make sure you know this stuff. What if we go now?
New garlic parm chicken slider combo at participating castles for a limited time while supplies last. Tax not included. White Castle. Crave thy castle.
Looking for a smarter, safer way to invest? For a limited time, lock in a great rate with Together Credit Union's 11-month CD special. From day one, your return on investment is guaranteed. No market swings, no surprises, just a competitive fixed rate that steadily grows your deposit. Make your money work harder with a financial partner that puts you first. Visit a Together Credit Union branch near you or go online to togethercu.org to learn more. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Your retirement isn't just numbers on a statement. It's your family, your time, and your future. Listen to the Financial Safari with Greg Belger. Sundays at 5 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
75 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now. There's some breaking news. There's reports of campers stuck in trees after the National Weather Service issued a flash flood emergency in Iron and Reynolds counties. Heavy rainfall has caused flooding in the area. There have been several water rescues as people scramble to seek higher ground. We'll bring you more information as details become available on this developing story. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department is launching an internal investigation after the discovery of remains believed to be a child missing for 2 years. The mother of Ronell Jones Jr. claims St. Louis police failed by not taking her seriously after she reported her son was missing in July of 2024. Police Chief Robert Tracy said he will ensure any mistakes or policy violations identified in the investigation are addressed. The child's mother ultimately filed another report with Deloge police in June, which led to the site where remains were uncovered in the Metro East. The child's father, 32-year-old Ronell Jones, and his girlfriend, 35-year-old Kirsty Dora, have been charged with parental kidnapping. Relief is on the way from FEMA to help several states prepare for disasters. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has details.
FEMA has directed $11 million in funding to several states, including Missouri, to strengthen community resilience, restore critical infrastructure, and invest in mitigation measures to reduce future disaster damage. The funding will be used to rebuild safe communities and protect infrastructure from future events. More than $640,000 has been awarded to the Urban League of Metro St. Louis for building repair or replacement. More than $586,000 has been earmarked for the city of St. Louis for debris removal operations. Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
Today is the last day the Animal Protective Association of Missouri is waiving adoption fees for cats and kittens. The APA issued the offer earlier this week to help create space for the overcrowded shelter. And Charter Communications plans to discontinue operations at its Network Operations Center in Town and Country, resulting in 107 layoffs. That's according to a Missouri WARN notice sent this week. The Operations Center serves as a regional office for business, finance, and corporate support teams under the Spectrum brand. The letter did not state a reason for the decision, but said this action is expected to be permanent. The layoffs are expected on September 8th and will primarily impact engineers and upper management positions. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, a place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 75 degrees. Time now is 8:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
All right, coming up, we got Will Gann's going to talk some movies and TV for us. Johnny London's going to stop by. Dan Zarlinga is going to talk about sunflowers. Democratic candidate for Congress, Joan Von Dross, wants to take on, that's Ann Wagner, right? She wants to become the Democratic nominee to take on Ann Wagner.
Correct.
We got that. We take all comers, so we'll have her on at 9 o'clock. Randy Carricker's going to talk a little sports, phone calls, 9 o'clock hour. This child investigation is heartbreaking when you hear about it. And there's a lot of information to digest, and it seems like there's 6 different stories all going on at the same time. But and I said this earlier, and I'll say it again now, the biggest piece of information in this story that we know of now, for me anyway, and I would highly recommend going to the Post-Dispatch and reading the story and getting a sense of how convoluted this whole story is. But one of the things that Police Chief Robert Tracy has said, that they believe, the St. Louis City Police believe, that the boy had died before the mother reported him missing. Now, I don't know if the police let this fall through the cracks, if it was bad police work, if it was, I have no idea. Obviously, the police don't either. That's why they're doing a full investigation and going to report back their findings. But they believe that when the mother went to the police, the boy was already dead. And so that's just sort of like, I guess that sort of rules out that even if the police did do bad policing, the results still would have been the same. Now, that's not to let the police off the hook, but that's to say the tragedy had already occurred by the time the police had heard of this situation. So we'll have to wait and see. But that one at least sort of for me anyway, sort of crystallized it at least, okay, as how bad is this? Did the police really, how much disregard could the police have had for this story? And if they could have acted sooner, would this boy have been alive? And it seems like that answer, at least today, is no, because when the police first found out about it, no matter how bad or good their police work turns out to be, the boy still would have been dead.
Well, does this mean they've been investigating this or working on this case for 2 years?
Yeah, again, it's sort of like, read the story. It's very convoluted. It's very confusing. The mother's saying one thing, and then she's saying another thing, and then the husband, the dad gets involved somewhere, and then it's this and it's that. And, the reporters are only going on what people are telling them, so it's really very convoluted. And I would suspect that very few people know exactly what happened, if anything, which is why you need the investigation. But for me, to sort of crystallize it, because we don't know enough of the facts to know what actually happened to sort of say what should have happened.
Well, but I mean, like the idea that this baby's been missing for 2 full years, right? Like if she, even if they weren't able to help her at the time that she reported him missing, there's still a missing child for 2 years, which
Correct.
would also warrant an investigation.
Well,
right?
but they also said at one point that the father said he's with the Amish or
down in Mississippi.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
right. So the father said the boy's fine in somewhere else, and so. And then the allegation was, well, they're not showing any proof, or show me the proof, or how do you know the proof? Again, so
she wanted
many.
to know where her kid was.
Right, exactly. But so many different tentacles to this story. And I'm not saying the police aren't at fault in any. Nobody knows. We need to wait and find out. But to me, again, one more time, if the police were wrong, at least we know that their actions didn't. They couldn't have. If the police would have acted better, assuming they could have, they didn't find out until after the boy had died. That's according to what they're saying. So we'll just have to wait and see all that. But it is nonetheless a tragic story. We can talk about it more in the 9 o'clock hour. Text your comments to 84126. 84126. There was an interesting story in the New York Times yesterday talking about data centers, because the whole world's data centers, that now there are some Native American reservations that want to open up their reservations for data centers. And there are some people within the Native American community who are saying, no, we don't want these data centers here. And some in the Native American communities are saying, well, we've got the land, and we need the investment, and we need the tax revenue. So what about we open up the idea to some of these data centers? It's a really interesting article about, again, the same thing that's playing out in downtown St. Louis is also playing out in Oklahoma and some of these other Native American reservations. So interesting debate nonetheless. There was also a story in the New York Times about how China, Russia, and for a large extent Iran is flooding our shores in social media with negative stories about data centers. And they see it working because people in America are taking the propaganda that has been created by China, Russia, and Iran to sow the seeds of discontent, to make Americans angry with each other. And somehow some people buy into this narrative, how terrible data centers are. And that's the sort of Russia, China, and Iran is sitting back and watching us argue with each other over data centers because of what they're flooding our social media accounts with. A story in the New York Times about that. Thought it was quite interesting and entertaining. And they show pieces that are being created by artificial intelligence, created by data centers, showing you how bad data centers are. Well worth reading. 8:14 here, Big 550 KTRS, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Take it away, Captain Paul Kopsky.
All right, McGraw, crews have finally cleared off the middle lane of 44 eastbound at Lindbergh that had been closed for about the last hour. due to debris in a stalled vehicle. That is now fully cleared off and all lanes open there. Crews have also cleared a stalled vehicle that was on 70 eastbound at 370. That was in the right shoulder. All lanes now open there and moving smoothly. No other major incidents or accidents to report because crews have also cleared off the accident that had occurred at 64 eastbound at the Poplar Street Bridge. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night tonight for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars, face painting, concessions, stage show, and the movie. Catholic Charities will be collecting toys or non-perishable items for families in need, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Any rain moves out by the morning commute. 74 for the low, 89 for the afternoon high Friday, and another chance for an isolated but strong to severe storm, mainly in the afternoon to evening Friday. So another First Alert weather day as we monitor that risk. Damaging winds will be the primary risk. Saturday, just a 30% chance of a shower storm, mainly in the morning, and 85 for the high. A lot of dry time, though, Saturday, and dry for Sunday. Partly cloudy and a high of 88. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Looking for a great local restaurant recommendation?
Feed me Seymour.
Tune in to the Kuno Food Service weekly special during the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Hear from the best of the best restaurant owners in town. Only on the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Presented by Kuno Food Service, right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Hi, Matt Kearns, president of STL Fringe. This is our 15th anniversary, and the lineup this year is spectacular. Join me for the celebration August 3rd through 9th at STL Fringe Fest 26 in the beautiful Grand Center Arts District. There you will experience concerts, plays, puppetry, musicals, and even a little burlesque. Perfect for those summer bachelorette parties. Grab passes and tickets today, and I'll see you at the Fringe, stlfringe.org. Use promo code BIG550 at the website.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, you had Moana, then you had Moana 2. Now you have live action Moana to talk all about it. Will Gans, our favorite from ABC News. Good morning, Will.
Good morning. Never enough Moana. Keep them coming.
Apparently, now live action. How did they do it? How did they pull it off?
It is exactly the first movie, pretty much shot for shot, but instead of animated The Rock, you have real life The Rock singing on the sands of Hawaii. So, you know, this is as far as remakes go, it really does follow the formula of the first movie. So if you have kids or grandkids that love the first Moana, they will love this one as well. And, you know, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda writing incredible music. The Rock is, you know, undeniably charming in this thing. And it's, you know, it's Moana. So there's a lot to love there. And it is not reinventing the wheel in any way. Like, you know, some of the earlier remakes, like the Beauty and the Little Mermaid, they added stuff or changed some stuff. I think maybe because just the script was a little dated since it came out 30 plus years ago. This one is pretty much follows the exactly since Moana updates and came out a decade ago.
How do they make his tattoos dance on his skin in the real live version?
It's, you know, it's a little magic.
Okay, good. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's that's in movie theaters this weekend.
That's in movie theaters this weekend.
Okay. Let's talk about Obsession. That movie is making some history. What's going on there?
It's crazy. So this thing cost under $1 million to make and has crossed the $4 million mark globally, which is now makes it the highest grossing film ever made, under $1 million. So it's a horror movie. It is scary. Here is that it's a young guy who has a crush on a girl, and you know, he's sort of down on his luck and doesn't really like him back the same way. So he goes to like this is looking for something to bring him some luck, and he finds this thing called Willow, and you make a wish on it, and you break the stick inside the little wrapper, and it's supposed to make your wish come true. Well, the wish that he makes is that she would love him more than anything else in the world, and it becomes true pretty much as soon as he snaps the stick. So she starts to like him a little bit, and then she starts to really like him, and then it's spiraling into an obsession, and it gets real creepy real fast. So if you want to watch it from the comfort of your own couch with every light in the house turned on, you can now do that. It's streaming at home as of this week. I got it on Prime Video and watched it yesterday, and it is pretty crazy.
It sounds like Fatal Attraction with Glenn Close, kind of.
Exactly. But even, I would say,
creepier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. What's going on with Legally Blonde?
So there's a prequel series. This is called Elle, and it is all every episode of season 1 dropped on Amazon Prime Video. So this is Elle Woods in high school. So it takes place in 1995. So like even just the fashion and the music, I love like of that stuff. And she, it starts, and she's pretty much the same that you know from the movies, wearing all pink in Bel Air and pool parties and all of that stuff, and then move to Seattle, and there it's gray and gloomy. People are gray and gloomy and fish out of water, navigating high school there, and it's my main takeaway from this thing is that actress that they have playing young Elle Woods, like, if you told me, is that AI, and I didn't know that this girl was real, like the mannerisms, the voice, the way she holds her hands, she truly is incarnated. It's amazing. So for anyone who likes the movie, I think it's worth checking out this prequel series on Prime Video.
Will Gans, we've come to really appreciate you over the years, but you have failed us this week. Completely failed us.
Oh, no. Hey, tell me.
No comment about Netflix's Little House on the Prairie?
None. I was, the Emmy nominations came out this week. I've been really, talking about that. Our show Hacks, of course, cleaned up, set a record, but no, I need to know about Little House on the Prairie.
Well, you need to drop everything and go and watch the reboot of Netflix's Little House on the Prairie. I watched the first 2 episodes. It's outstanding. It is family fun. There's no aliens, there's no gunshots, there's no car chases. Just good, wholesome family fun about this family on the in the middle of America trying to stake a claim for their homestead. It's fantastic.
All right, this is good. This is great news. I feel like right now it's sort of a weird time for TV. Like there's not a lot of new stuff coming out. People try to put their stuff out right before the Emmy nominations come out. So this is good. This gives me something to watch.
It's good, wholesome entertainment, unlike all this other stuff you talk about with creepy obsessions and all these other terrible movies. This is nice, family, wholesome fun the way it should be back in the old days. Little House on the Prairie. Check it out. Will, thanks for checking in. As always, we'll check in with you next week. Thanks, man.
All right. Have a great weekend.
You got it. Little House on the Prairie. That's my pick this week on Netflix. And then you're seeing Odyssey on Monday?
I'm seeing the Odyssey on Monday in IMAX.
This is getting apparently ridiculous reviews.
People love it. Christopher Nolan, and it's going to be... people will watch it instead of reading the book, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, the book is 700 pages.
It's a nice poem.
Yeah, and I prefer the Iliad as opposed to the Odyssey, but that's a whole other issue.
But Troy was good, right, with Brad Pitt and like that's the same thing, right? The same Achilles and all that. Helen of Troy.
Well, this is
Hector.
Matt Damon in the.
But I mean,
Homer
it's the same.
role.
It's the Iliad and the Odyssey, right? It's Homer's big old.
Homer's
giant.
Odyssey and Iliad, yeah. So I recently stumbled across Titanic.
As
Jack.
in the 1998
Jack,
movie?
come back. Come back, Jack.
The boat sinks at the end.
Yeah. I got to tell you, that's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really good movie.
It won Best Picture.
I know. I don't think I'm
You're not converting anybody.
I'm not breaking any new ground here.
I own it on VHS, and it's
two tapes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to. It's
It
so
is-
long that you have to take the one video.
It is a great movie. Now, the chase scene where the boat's sinking and he gets tied up and she takes the axe and cuts the handcuffs off, and that gets a little long. And that's, they're running to the boat, whatever. They could have cut a good half hour out of that. But outside of those scenes, it's a great movie. I mean, just the two of them, the story, how he gets on the boat, and how they play the modern version of it, and they're going back to the old days, and it's just a great yarn.
They did a great job too at keeping it in its most historical. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
the only
the
thing was just
painstaking, yeah.
it was just the Rose and Jack story. Otherwise, they even characters and
Molly
stuff,
Brown.
names, the
Yeah.
name of the coat that he had. These are all real.
And I believe a lot of the extras were from like the Titanic Historical Society.
Yeah.
That they went and got these people who belonged to the Titanic Society and brought them in, and they played the extras on the set. It's really, for what it's worth. If you haven't seen it in a while, it is well worth taking a second look at it.
Yeah, it's a fascinating story. I mean, it's just the whole concept of all of it.
Yeah.
And it's so
Well, and
it's a
that
time.
the whole Heart of the Ocean diamond and the whole thing, and Billy Zane is such a good bad guy. What happened to him? He's such a great bad guy. He hasn't been around in a while, but
I want to say he might have no hair at the current time.
Oh.
So he could still be a great bad
He
guy.
plays a great bad guy.
Do you remember? Did you ever watch Young and the Restless? Victor Newman. Victor Newman plays the rich guy, JJ. What's the name? Remember, because he introduces him all these people, and that's what she introduces him.
Yeah, are you from the Los Angeles Dawsons?
Yeah, the Chippewa Falls
The
Dawsons.
Chippewa Falls Dawsons. Oh, I don't think I know them.
Yeah, like it's just, but it's, it was just, that was
It's a great.
It's very
It's just
good.
a great movie. Yeah, 8:25 here, Big 550 KTRS. Connor McCarthy in the St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center.
All right, McGraw, no major incidents or accidents to report on right now. We don't have any major slowdowns on the roadways either. Crews have cleared that stalled vehicles that were blocking the road on 44 eastbound at Lindbergh and 70 eastbound at 370. Traffic now moving smoothly in all directions. Don't forget about the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night tonight for a free showing of the Disney classic Cars, face painting, concessions, stage show, and the movie. Catholic Charities will be collecting toys or non-perishable items for family in needs, presented by the Royal Banks of Missouri. From the St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, weather-wise, it's going to be hazy, hot, and humid. Temperature's going to be in the mid-80s. That's the good news. The bad news is some of these storms are going to be severe. Hail damage, wind, both today and overnight. So a high of 88 today with some thunderstorms and some hail possible later in the afternoon. Overnight tonight, again, scattered thunderstorms. They could become more widespread. They're calling for up to an inch of rain tonight overnight. Right now, it's 72 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. Let's go to the
Johnny Landorf Chevrolet.
let's see the magic of radio. Check in with the conference room at the Washington Elizabeth exit. Who are we talking to? Who's in the room this morning?
McGraw, you got JL3 here. It's a little light right now. People are running a little late. Also summer, so we have some salespeople and managers on vacation this week, well-earned vacations. So you just got me and the great Pete Thibodeau sitting across from me. Good morning. Yep.
All I need is
Waiting
a
on
little.
people to file in here.
All I need is a little JL3. Set the scene for us. What's the weekend look like?
Oh, busy as usual. Service busy today. Not too busy for people if needs arise and they need to get their vehicles in here at Florissant or St. Peter's location for some service. And then other than that, just a busy weekend of sales. We got appointments scheduled, deliveries scheduled for new and pre-owned. The great Car Bravo, that fancy tech name they came up with to replace certified pre-owned, but they can call it whatever they want as long as they keep that 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty that comes with them at no cost to the customer. So
yeah,
ready to rock and roll.
You guys do a great job of those late models, Suburbans, Tahoes, those late model SUVs. How you doing with those?
Doing great. Have a great selection of those as always. Some of our great long-term customers that love to trade in every 1 to 2 years. Those are some of the best customers that you have. Because those repeat quick turn buyers. But yeah, that allows us to have a great selection, really, at both locations of the late model vehicles on offer.
Yeah, you can get a good, year, 2 years cars. It's low mileage, very little wear and tear. It's almost like a new car, and you get it for a great price. So that's a great way to do it. I know you've got everything on the 2 lots. Everything's online too, right?
Always 24/7 there at Londoff.com and LondolfAutoplex.com.
Talk about the financing, because you can get it done right there, and you can get it all done before we ever show up on the building and lot.
Absolutely, yeah, all online. Basically to where when we had actually Pete and myself, we had some great customers. One of them, a former employee here. He and his wife were looking at an Equinox. They came in, we had it all already printed and everything. So when they came in, they signed a couple things. They did the app, paired the phone, all that, and they were out of here on a holiday weekend Friday with under an hour, I think. All it took was a phone call or two, a couple text messages. We emailed them a link or two, and boom, done. So yeah, we can make it as easy and as streamlined as the person wants. Now, if you're unsure and you want to drive 10 different vehicles, we can handle that as well too.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. You can go do all that. Real quick, the financing. Talk about the special deals you got going forward with Chevy and Johnny Londoff.
Great rates as always, with our partners, General Motors Financial, rates as low as 1.9, I think, maybe even 0.9 on certain vehicles. There are some 0% available on the light duty 1500 Silverados. And then just rates in general, let us do the legwork for you. Let us lean on our connections, our experiences, things like that, whether they be the big national lenders, your Cap Ones, your Bank of Americas, or, some of the local credit unions. We have those connections, and yeah, we want to get you the very best rate possible.
Chevy Silverado, built America, no question about it. It all starts at Londoff.com. Guys, thanks for checking in. Get back to work. JL3, have yourself a good weekend. Tell Dad I said hi, and we'll see you down the road.
Will do, absolutely. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you, McGraw. 2
locations, the Washington Elizabeth exits right there on 270. And, of course, don't forget about the Autoplex. Go down and say hi to Jimmy Saffo. He's at the Autoplex, Highway 70 and Highway 79, the Johnny Londoff Autoplex right off the highway. It's 8:31. Let's go to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
8 men were indicted on murder and terrorism conspiracy charges yesterday for their alleged roles in a thwarted drone and sniper attack on the UFC cage fighting show staged at the White House in June. It remains unclear from the court records how close the would-be attackers could have come to being able to carry out the plan had it not been thwarted. President Donald Trump has ousted members of a bipartisan federal election commission charged with assisting state and local elections officials. The White House confirmed that Trump is taking executive action to change the makeup of the Election Assistance Commission. In local headlines, multiple water rescues are underway after the National Weather Service issued a flash flood emergency in Iron and Reynolds counties. There are reports of campers stuck in trees as a result of the rising water. Several agencies have been dispatched to the area. St. Louis County Police are warning of a teen takeover at Sky Zone in Fenton tonight. Police say the event has been circulating on social media. Police say officers will be in the area to ensure public safety should problems arise. 77 degrees. Time now is 8:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Hi, it's Julie Buck. Many people know Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital for its inpatient services, but its outpatient therapy program is also helping children thrive. Specializing in care for children with complex medical needs, Rankin Jordan offers physical, occupational, speech, and aquatic therapy in a welcoming, fun environment. The hospital is also home to the region's only warm water pediatric therapy pool. And parents can get in too. To find out more, talk to your doctor or visit rankinjordan.org.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. Plus, when you schedule your appointment before July 12th, you'll receive an additional $250 off your entire purchase. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyandersen.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
The World Cup is here, and for a team to survive, they need a good defense. If you've been hurt in a crash or on the job, call Brown & Brown now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. That's 314, all threes. The choice of lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Discover how you can make lasting summer memories with a home equity line of credit from Royal Banks of Missouri. Whether you're envisioning a new backyard oasis or an unforgettable family getaway, you can enjoy peace of mind with flexible, convenient funding to turn your dreams into reality. Call 314-212-1500 or visit royalbanksofmo.com today to learn how you can apply for a home equity line of credit. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Stay connected with the Big 550 KTRS, streaming 24/7 online at KTRS.com or on the KTRS app. Powered by JBL Financial. Stream Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday morning.
Gilmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Gilmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's talk a little Dan Zarlinga. It's Friday. Haven't had a chance to see you. I've been out. You've been out. Vacations, doing the show from home for a couple of Fridays. Dan Zarlinga, good to have you back.
Good to see you again, McGraw.
Let's talk sunflowers. What do we need to know?
Yeah, well, this is sunflower season, basically. And what I'm meaning by that is that we have a lot of sunflower plantings that we have at our Columbia Bottom Conservation Area in Spanish Lake, which is in North St. Louis County. And it's a really popular time of year to get pictures and see sunflowers. And who'd have think a sunflower would have been a big deal, but it's become a big deal actually over time.
And so the sunflower, right, the big, huge, giant burst of yellow and orange. And where are the seeds in that, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, so you've got the rays of the sunflower, hence the name, the bright yellow rays that surround the central part, which has all the seeds in it. And so it started with we had always been planting plots of sunflowers for our dove management program. So dove hunting season starts September 1st. And so on our dove hunting fields, we plant sunflowers. And the way sunflowers work is when you plant them, they will grow and bloom about 60 days later.
Oh.
Then once they bloom for about 10 days. And then afterwards, they do shrivel up, and then the seeds drop to the ground or they get eaten and so forth. So the strategy was to plant the sunflowers, have them bloom in July, and then they shrivel, and then by September, those seeds would have dropped and attract mourning doves. And then that would help the hunters. And then plus the hunters would also use those big stalks as cover. So provide a cover. So that's originally the purpose behind it. But then somewhere along the way, people started seeing these things and say, hey, these make cool pictures. And they wanted to come out and see them and take pictures with them and selfies and put them on social media. So I'd say it was 2018, the team at Columbia Bottom said, well, since this is so popular, and those sunflowers only bloom for 10 days, why don't we plant some more plots throughout the area and then stagger those plantings? So, we plant each one 10 days later so that they will continually bloom somewhere on the area just for people who want to watch the sunflowers and take pictures. And so they did that, and the first year was 2018, if I'm not mistaken, and it just took off like wildfire. We did a little, social media promotion for it too, but it got to be where it just exploded on Instagram and stuff like that. So it was very popular, so they continued doing it, and it's remained popular ever since. The visitation on the weekends is just incredible, people going to see the sunflowers.
60 days from planting to full bloom. It must be, you can probably stand there and watch it grow. Isn't that pretty fast?
Yeah, they can grow pretty fast. And now, of course, it is subject to weather conditions. There's been some years we've planted them, and there's been a flood or something going on, and they haven't been as successful. So that's always a gamble, just ask any farmer. That's always a gamble with nature. But typically they put on a really good show, and like I said, just as one field may be fading with their sunflowers, there'll be another one somewhere else where they'll just be blooming. And so the way it is, we have basically some kind of sunflowers blooming continuously on the area from somewhere around the first part of July, like right now, all the way till about mid-August, maybe late August, depending on weather conditions.
All right, good. So where is the Columbia Bottom? Where is that?
So it's in North County, so it's kind of far North County. So what you would want to do is take 270 as if you were going into Illinois, the 270 bridge into Illinois. But instead, you're going to get off on Riverview Boulevard, which is the exit right before that.
Got it.
And go north about 3 miles. So it's 801 Stratman Road is the official address, but basically you just go 3 miles north of 270 on Riverview.
And it's just a plethora of sunflowers.
Well, so it's a big area, so you're not going to immediately be besieged by sunflowers as soon as you drive through the gate. So what we have is some signs that kind of help direct you to where the sunflowers are, and cleverly enough, they're in the shape of a sunflower.
There you go. So I would think that a lot of ancillary benefits, insects, other wildlife have sort of gravitated to this area because now there's a lot of food in the area?
Yeah, so it's a multi pronged thing. So yes, they're there for the dove hunters and to attract the doves, but the seeds are a really good source of food for not just mourning doves, but a bunch of other birds, other wildlife. So it provides like a food plot for them as well. And then the interesting thing about the sunflowers, too, is they support a wide suite of pollinators. So if you ever go there, you'll see, bees, you'll see moths, you might see butterflies working the sunflowers because they are a good source of sustenance for pollinators.
Interesting. I guess you could plant sunflower plants at home, too, right? There's probably a lot of residential sunflower plants out there as well.
Well, for folks doing a native garden, yeah, absolutely you can. You're not going to plant rows and rows of them, but sometimes people will plant 2 or 3 or something like that, and they can grow pretty tall, so you have to account for that. But if you account for that, yes, they make good native garden plants too.
When you go to Columbia Bottom, what should you keep in mind? What are some of the things you should pay attention to?
So, well, first of all is the hours. It's open from a half hour before sunrise to a half hour after sunset, and there is a electronic gate on the area, so you do have to be mindful of that. But basically, just get there, follow the signs, see whatever the current fields blooming are. And, we asked the obvious stuff, don't throw trash around, don't pick sunflowers. Some people like to bring props and things like that for photographs, which can be fun. and that's fine.
I could only imagine.
And that's fine, just as long as you take them back home with you. And the other thing is to don't block the roadways. Park off to the side so you're not blocking traffic. Because sometimes it does get a little crowded on some days on the weekends. So, and then the other thing, that's kind of the rules and regulation part of it. But the other part is for if you're doing photography or photographs, again, just like any other photography, if you go earlier in the morning or later in the afternoon or early evening, which, we have a large span of daylight now, that's usually the best time because you're going to get the best light.
Sure.
And so if you go in the midday, you still get some nice photos, but it just won't have that same pop as if you go those other hours.
Spoken like a true photographer. Okay, that's Columbia Bottom. What's going on in Weldon Spring then?
So another popular place that we have where folks can see sunflowers in a totally different area of the metro is at Weldon Spring Conservation Area, and that's in St. Charles. So to get there, you'd want to take the Highway 40 to the 94 exit, go south several miles, and there's an exit off 94 to the boat ramp, the Weldon Spring boat ramp.
Right.
And you just take that road, and we have flowers planted along the road to the boat ramp. And that is more currently we're just doing that as dove management. So you do have that 10-day window, which probably is starting right about now or very soon, and then goes through mid to late July. But you can also get some great sunflower pictures there. So that's just another alternative.
Can you take a sunflower and seed and just plant the seed in 60 days? You'll have a sunflower?
I mean, theoretically you could, yeah. I mean, if you have the right conditions and all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just a great opportunity to get out and see something of nature, get some photos. It's popular, share on Instagram and all that. And another thing I would say on the photography end is consider if you have a close-up lens or a close focusing telephoto or a macro lens, consider bringing that because you can get some great artsy photos of the sunflowers close-ups, and you've got all those bees and pollinators that are there too, so you might get some good photos of them as well.
I just like to eat sunflower seeds.
And yes, we don't recommend you do that there, but I mean, yes, they are very good and they're very nutritious, and they're a very good source of nutrients. So again, that's why it's so great for the birds. That's why the doves draw in there so much. And that's why a lot of other wildlife uses it. So yeah, it's just we found that it became sort of a win-win situation. We did it for dove manage initially, but it attracted folks for other reasons. Kind of, you've heard the term collateral damage. Well, this is collateral positive, whatever the opposite of collateral damage would be. And it turned out that it's a great opportunity for folks, and even if they're not dove hunters, to get out and enjoy nature and sort of appreciate it in that way.
All right, good. So Columbia Bottom has got where you can check out the sunflowers, and then Weldon Spring, the Weldon Spring Conservation Area. The website, Dan Zarlinga, to find out more, so we know exactly where we're going.
Sure, it's mdc.mo.gov.
Pretty good stuff. All right, there you go. Sunflowers. Who knew that sunflowers was a big, huge hit?
Yeah, our visitation. We have like counters on the entrance of car counters.
Yeah,
you can tell how many people visit the area, at least how many cars, and it's amazing. You can see the data, the spike during July and August of people visiting the area for that.
Good
it's
stuff.
Incredible.
Dan Zarlinga will be out there with his camera in hand, taking those cool artsy photos. Dan, good stuff. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks as always.
846, Connor McCarthy, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
All right, McGraw, we have an accident on 270 northbound, right at the 170 merge, so 270 eastbound, if you want to call it that. That's blocking the two left lanes and causing quite a bit of a slowdown right there as you pass 170, 270 east or / northbound. Blocking the left two lanes. Other than that, not too much traffic to report on. The crews have cleared that stalled vehicle on 44 eastbound at Lindbergh, and traffic now moving smoothly again there. This traffic update is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or a first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hey, Dan Zarlinga, we got a question from the text line. It says, do sunflowers face face the east.
Yeah, they generally do to get that morning sunlight. So, and like we were saying, so again, if you're going there and you want to see the sunflowers or photograph them, if you go in the morning, you'll tend to have a situation where the face of the sunflower is lit, so you can get a lot of color and detail in the sunflower. If you go in the evening, the sun will tend to be to the west behind the sunflower, so then you'll get another different effect called rim lighting and backlighting, which is also the rays seem to light up and come to life.
But the sunflower itself follows the sun across the sky.
Yeah, it will orient itself to get the best, the most sunlight. And a lot of plants will do that, so it's not totally unusual because plants have a magic inside them that can sense these things, and a lot of times they will definitely orient themselves to where they're going to get the best angle of the sun.
Man, Mother Nature's amazing. Good stuff. Dan Zorlinga, good stuff. Thanks for checking in. 848 Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
Dangerous flooding ongoing in some areas south of St. Louis this morning. We're talking Rowlett to Farmington and farther south. For the rest of us, kind of a waiting game today with a lot of dry time through the midday hours. But then we watch for scattered storms to pop up again this afternoon into tonight. Some of those could produce some strong winds and add to that flood risk. 89 for the high today. Scattered rain and storms tonight, too, into early Saturday, down to 73 for the low. And then it's hit and miss rain Saturday morning and afternoon. More clouds tomorrow, too, with a high of 85. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers on the Big 550, KTRS.
All right, let's do Pat Leahy at Outdoor Living, because Pat Leahy's amassing all the materials for the new deck. That's right, we're coming down to the end. The new deck will be, another week or so, and then Outdoor Living is going to build a deck. They're going to use composite decking. They use metal framing, just like they do with everybody else. And when it's all said and done, it's going to have a 50-year warranty on the deck. That's great for all sorts of reasons. First of all, you'll be able to enjoy it, and it'll be nice and sturdy, so you'll be safe. And then talk about the value of your home, right? If you ever want to sell the home and you got a deck built by Outdoor Living, the wood, lasts 5, 6, 8, maybe 10 years. It starts to bow and warp and everything else. The pressure-treated wood today is not like the pressure-treated wood from years ago. That's why people are making the switch to metal framing and composite decking. When Outdoor Living does it, then they get the railings, they get the lights, they get the steps and everything else. It's beautiful from start to finish, and you know that it's built right. Outdoor Living's been doing this a long time. They are known. The industry knows them as doing it right and making sure it is done, and it is done properly. Pat Leahy and Outdoor Living. My recommendation, decks and fences. Check out the showroom, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. That's where it all starts. You get a lot of different great ideas and different options and colors and styles and designs. And then they'll come and do a site visit, and they'll fix it and make sure you get all the permits needed and everything else. And then they're off and running. Outdoor Living, 314-966-3325. Don't take my word for it. How about the hundreds and thousands of people who have used Outdoor Living the last 30 years? Outdoor Living. Check out the showroom. That's where it starts. Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Lauren, can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
If your parents were buying a home tomorrow, would you represent them any differently than one of your clients?
Not a chance. And when I say that, I mean I treat my clients exactly like I'd treat my parents. Same honesty, same advice, same negotiation. Every client gets the same service.
Okay, second question. If one of your closest friends called you and said, I found a house, I'm in love with it, but you knew it was a bad decision, what would you do?
I've already done it before. I tell them no, don't buy it. My job isn't to sell people houses. It's to help them make good decisions. And sometimes that means they don't get to buy anything that day.
That's exactly why I've sent my friends and family to Lauren for years.
I mean, it's simple. Buying and selling a house, it's a big deal. And people deserve to have someone who's willing to tell them what they need to hear and not just what they want to hear.
Exactly. If you already know Lauren from listening every week, then you already know the kind of person she is. When it's time to make your move, give Lauren Risley Realty a call at 314-775-0684.
It's the GOAT! The greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. the greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. With approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 to its signing. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin. Fee expires 7/31/26.
Celebrate America's 250th with Stars, Stripes, and Savings at Byerly RV. All month long, purchase any RV and receive a $250 gift card. Then join us July 10th and 11th for our in-store celebration. Stop by for additional savings and enter to win RV accessories. Plus, on Saturday, July 11th, enjoy Lunch on Us from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Celebrate freedom, adventure, and the open road during Stars, Stripes, and Savings at Byerly RV in Eureka.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio, discover the hidden speakeasy, and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66 true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
You've spent years building your retirement savings. How do you turn those savings into income that you can rely on? Hear more on the Financial Safari with local trusted advisor Greg Belger, Sundays at 5 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
In the dark. This is Ronnie James Dio?
It would have been his 84th birthday today.
I thought it was Dockin myself. I saw Ronnie James Dio in concert.
I know that.
It scared me.
Do you know, apparently his grandma gets credit for doing the, what do you call it, the devil
horns?
Yeah, like.
Really?
Yeah.
Way to go, Grandma.
Right?
Twisted Sister opened for Ronnie James Dio. First concert I ever saw.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah. Nassau Coliseum. Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty good, huh?
That's a good show to start off.
Yeah. Probably the last concert I went to. I think the next one was Barry Manilow.
How old are you?
17, maybe?
So you do remember the first concert?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I.
Twisted Sister opened for Ronnie James Dio.
And Dio. Solo Dio, huh?
Is that the guy who died? Does he die?
He died of stomach cancer in 2010.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen to this. Any chance you could have a guest on sometime to explain in layman's terminology the upcoming constitutional amendments? We have had a number of guests on for Amendment 5, which is the income tax. We're going to get more people on with Amendment 5 as well as Amendment 4. We're trying to get as many people on with data centers. They're kind of hard to find. The con data centers are easy to find. We're getting more and more of those on. The pro data centers are harder and harder to find for whatever reason. However, we will. But it's anyway. The constitutional amendments for the income tax, and then the Four. I don't think there's any way you can explain it simple. I've explained it 17 different ways, and it's more confusing every time I try and explain it. But we'll do what we can. All right, stay right there. Would you want to be a congressman today? Our next guest wants your vote. She wants to be and take on Ann Wagner. Ann Wagner, who's beaten back every challenger for years and years and years. Remember, she was going to take on Claire McCaskill at some point. She was going to leave her congressional seat, take on Claire McCaskill for the Senate race. She was talked out of it, or Josh Hawley nudged her out of the way after support from Jack Danforth, only for him to say that was the worst mistake he ever made, called Josh Hawley a detriment to democracy. And Ann Wagner stayed as a congresswoman. And now our next guest, coming up next hour, wants to take that seat from her. We'll talk with her and ask her why in the world would she want to run for Congress. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Let's get a look at your commute. Here's Connor McCarthy.
All right, McGraw, we just have a quick update on a stalled vehicle that is in the southbound 55 right past Park in the right lane, blocking the right lane and closing it down. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night tonight for a free showing of the Disney classic cars, face painting, concession, stage show, and the movie. Catholic Charities will be collecting toys or non-perishable items for families in need. Presented by Royal Banks, Missouri. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the
Tune in weekly to the Frank and Jill Show to catch the new Legal Eagle segment featuring renowned attorney Travis Noble of Travis Noble Attorneys at Law. Every week, Travis will join the show for an entertaining segment focusing on legal stories and news right here on the Big 550. 250 years of independence, 30 years of live local programming. Okay, Lady Liberty, you win. We are in the Big 550 KTRS.
Sherry Preston. President Trump says this morning in posts on social media he will not sign the bipartisan housing affordability bill in protest over his voter ID law not being taken up in Congress. That bill was a rare piece of legislation. Both Republicans and Democrats strongly supported the housing bill. By not signing it, it becomes law. The president removing 3 remaining members of a bipartisan federal commission that tests and certifies voting machines. That move alarming Democrats, says ABC national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Stood up to help states update their voting systems after the 2000 Florida recount. The Election Assistance Commission certifies equipment and offers guidance to state officials. It's meant to be bipartisan. An aide says the president has the right to remove officials who, quote, may not be totally aligned with the important task of securing America's elections and ensuring every legal vote is counted. Top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer calls the firings a brazen attempt to seize control of elections months before the midterms.
No new attacks on Iran overnight as technical talks on Iran's nuclear program continue on the ground. Flash flooding in the Midwest has led to life-threatening conditions, especially in the state of Missouri. ABC Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z has more.
In Iron and Reynolds County, Missouri, they've got people needing rescue at campgrounds. They've had 6 to 10 inches of rain fall in just a couple of hours. So what's happening here, we have training thunderstorms, meaning they're rolling over the exact same area over and over again. So if you've already had 6 to 10, and now you're going to try to add 3 to 5 inches, that's a big problem. Cape Girardeau, Paducah, also in those flash flood warnings.
Extreme heat across much of the country over the weekend, including in Billings, Montana, where it's expected to be over 100 degrees. Oil prices have been yo-yoing over actions in the Middle East. Checking the markets this hour, they just opened. The Dow is up 50 points, S&P up 14. You're listening to ABC News.
250 years of independence, 30 years of live local programming. Okay, Lady Liberty, you win. We are the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
You know that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
Are you looking to buy a new home, set money aside for college, or start planning for retirement? Royal Banks of Missouri is here to create a personalized savings strategy that works for you and your financial goals. From roundup savings to money market to individual retirement accounts, they offer a variety of options to help you save for life's most memorable moments. Call 314-212-1500 or visit a location near you to learn more. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Tune in to the Big 550 for the daily World Cup updates with Sports Director Brendan Weesey, only on KTRS. Brought to you by Lordo's Diamonds, Fairmont on Clayton, Spas and More STL, and Gingham's Restaurant.
78 degrees at 9:03. A flash flood emergency remains in effect for parts of Reynolds and Iron counties. This has resulted in multiple water rescues this morning as people seek higher ground. The flooding is also impacting Johnson Shut-in State Park and Tomsock Mountain State Park. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department will conduct an internal affairs investigation of the department's juvenile division after the discovery of a child's remains earlier this week connected to a parental kidnapping case. The mother of Ronell Jones Jr. claims St. Louis police failed by not taking her seriously after she reported her son was missing 2 years ago. St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy promises transparency. The child's mother ultimately filed another report with Deloge Police in June, which led to the site where remains were uncovered in the Metro East. The child's father, 32-year-old Ronell Jones, and his girlfriend, 35-year-old Kirsty Dora, have been charged with parental kidnapping. A new law for driving while intoxicated has been signed by Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe. Bentley and Mason's Law is named after 2 children who became orphans when their parents were killed by a drunk driver in 2021. Under the new law, if the offender goes to jail, child support payments would start over 1 year after release and continue until the child reaches the age of 18 or 21, depending on the child's age when their parent died. A federal appeals court is upholding Illinois' assault weapons ban. The 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals voted to uphold the Protect Illinois Communities Act. Governor J.B. Pritzker called the ruling a victory in the fight to end gun violence. Pritzker signed the measure into law in response to the deadly 4th of July shooting in Highland Park in 2022. And a proposal on a temporary ban of new apartment building projects in O'Fallon was the focus of an intense debate during a public meeting last night. Supporters feel a 1-year moratorium would give the city time to come up with new standards. Opponents disagree, arguing the council already has the power to use discretion when reviewing such projects and fear a temporary ban could negatively impact the city's long-term growth. Initial unemployment claims are up sharply in Missouri. The Missouri Department of Labor reports there were 8,900 claims filed during the week ending on July 4th. That marks an increase of nearly 6,000 claims from the previous week. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, a place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune into Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 right here on the Big 550. The Dow is up 62 points to 52,600. The S&P is up 12 points to 7,600. And the NASDAQ is up 11 points to 26,300. In KTRS Sports, Jordan Walker smashed his 22nd home run, but it was not enough as the Brewers beat the Cards again 8-4 at Busch. Milwaukee leaves town taking 4 of the possible 5 games against the Birds. And former Mizzou basketball center Sean Phillips might have another opportunity to play college hoops. Phillips was among 15 players that a judge granted an injunction for renewing their exhausted eligibility. There is not a path, however, currently for Phillips to return to the Tigers. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads where we find Connor McCarthy standing by.
All right, Rose, traffic moving mostly smoothly out there right now as we get into the late morning. Still have a accident on 270 eastbound, I guess. 270 north or eastbound, right at the 170 merge, blocking off the 2 left lanes, causing quite a bit of a slowdown as you approach 170. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. That's the latest from the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Connor. In KTRS weather, scattered rain and storms possible this afternoon with a high of 89. Rain and storms likely tonight with an overnight low of 72. Scattered storms during the morning time hours tomorrow, then clearing with a high of 85. And Sunday, sunny, high of 87. Currently 78 degrees at 9:08. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Since 1976, thousands of businesses have relied upon the tax reduction strategies provided by Capital Advisory Group to help them keep more of what they earn, reduce their tax liability, and stop overpaying their federal and state income taxes. Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and the author of the 2 #1 best-selling books on taxes, Keep What's Yours and Keeping What's Yours. We're celebrating 50 years helping small businesses grow and thrive by minimizing the financial risk to their businesses, reducing their tax liability, and growing their wealth using strategic tax planning. The Fed is hinting that inflation and interest rates will continue to rise in the months ahead. If you're relying on investment advice from someone who isn't familiar with the tax strategy and feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, give us a call, 636-394-5524, capitaladvisorygrp.com. Again, the number is 636-394-5524.
You're selling your home, and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Hey, St. Louis, this is Zippers Up. I'm getting ready to MC the Mater Media Speaker Series.
We're bringing in some big names: Bill O'Reilly, Cardinal Timothy Dolan, John O'Leary, other national personalities. We're going to be at the J. Scheidegger Center for the Arts, Lindenwood University, beginning in September. Go to matermedia.org. That's MATERMEDIA.org. Early bird pricing going on now. Don't wait. Tickets are going fast.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Heidi Glaus, Josh Gilbert, and Bob Ramsey. Weekday afternoons at 3 on the Big 550.
Always current and always on.
KTRS.
Yippee-yi-yo, Coyote galloping all the way. Great big star on his chest. Out from all of the rest. Fastest gun in the West. Yippee-yi-yo, Coyote riding around your way. Here comes Quick Draw McGraw. The highfalutinist, fastest shootingest cowboy you ever saw. That's Quick Draw McGraw.
All right, let's get right to it. Randy Carricker, talk a little sports coming up at the bottom of the hour. But first, we have a primary coming up in Missouri on August 4th, so we're inside a month of that. And our next guest wants to take on Ann Wagner for Congress for Missouri's District 2. But before she gets to Ann Wagner, she's got to win the Democratic primary. Joan Von Dross, welcome to KTRS.
Thank you for having me back, Tim.
You got it. All right, let's start off with a very simple question. Why in the world would you want to be a congresswoman?
I'm a retired school teacher who taught the Constitution, and I just can't bear to see what's happening to it. We've lost our checks and balances. The executive is out of whack, and I think it's an opportunity to fix this. And I can step into it with some innovative ideas and a connection that I've always had in the community, and I'm willing to do it. This isn't a career for me. It's a duty.
So the district is highly Republican. They've changed the maps to make the 7 districts highly Republican. A lot of people would say this is a kamikaze mission.
What I know from, I started doing town talks back in 2025, and that was a concept where let's bridge the divide, saving democracy, one conversation at a time. And in all of those months, I had Democrats, independents, and Republicans coming together because they are concerned about democracy, and they actually care about country over party. This is an opportunity to have those conversations. And I was in St. Clair just 2 weeks ago at a coffee shop, and everyone I spoke to in that coffee shop was Republican, but we had common ground and we had good conversation.
What are the Republicans saying to you? What are they asking you? What's on their mind?
A lot of times I just listen to them. And I would say in the town halls, for example, I had 3 town halls. I've had 12. And the first 3 I asked in Franklin County, West County, and South County, what is on your mind policy-wise? How is it impacting your life? And what should we focus on for the next town hall? All 3 were healthcare. That is the primary concern. Some of the other concerns were about AI and the digital Bill of Rights. And you were talking earlier about the hyperscale data centers. Another one that really popped up and we're looking at in a town hall in July is on food security.
What was the arguments or what were the questions about health insurance?
People are really concerned about affordability issues and, with the ACA getting reduced and Medicaid cuts, work requirements. Things are just really expensive, plus out-of-pocket costs. Things are just getting more expensive as hospitals consolidate, and people want relief. We have healthcare as a commodity in this country, and healthcare is a right.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, where are you on data centers?
I think that we need conversations about it. We have regular data centers, but these hyperscale data centers that are coming in at such a quick rate. I've been to every meeting in Franklin County, and I've been listening and watching the people of Franklin County. They want transparency. They don't want officials signing NDAs and not disclosing what they know. They want to have open conversations. I was reading, though, yesterday, I think Franklin County is they're talking about pausing it. which is good. So I think people are starting to be heard, but it's because they've activated. And, they need to have transparent conversations like this one at Beltline. What is that going to be there 8 years, and then they're thinking they'll close it? Well, what happens to the land after that? What is the end game? How do they bring that back? They're talking about changing parts of Franklin County to heavy industrial. People are concerned.
So
unintended consequences.
Part of your district is Montgomery County. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Who just signed a huge deal with Google and Amazon for $35 billion in investments, the largest investment in the state of Missouri. You in favor of that?
I think that's up to the community. These have to be community decisions, and each community is unique.
Story in the New York Times that says that China, Russia, Iran is flooding our social media pages with derogatory comments about data centers to sort of get us arguing with each other. How much of this opposition to data centers is accurate? How much of this is sort of a Tokyo Rose where our enemies are sowing the seeds of discontent?
I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things I did in these workshops that I did for months, the first thing I started out with is about social media and how these technologies of connection are tearing us apart. And there is so much misinformation that is out there. And my answer to that is that we need to get back to having conversations in the community and quit relying so much on social media for our information. So I definitely think we need to pay attention to those things.
Right. But part of the misinformation is on data centers.
Right. So people need to be reading books and having conversations.
Yeah. Are you in favor of a moratorium on data centers?
I think that we need to slow down the conversation about it, and I think each community needs to have an opportunity to feel heard. When people do not feel heard, they get angry and they get upset.
Yeah. What are they angry over? I mean, what do they want to know about data centers that they don't already know?
Well, in the meeting, in Franklin County, some of the questions that I heard were more about what is going to be the environmental impact when this, and also will there be TIFs coming in? Who are you selling it to? When you decommission it, what is that going to look like? Are you going to return it? What is going to happen with all of these empty data centers? And are we building too many? And is there going to be a bubble? And how is that going to affect the economy?
Yeah. All right. Joan Von Dross, Democrat candidate for the Missouri 2nd. You're a drop in the ocean. You're going to be a first-time congressman if you go to Washington. How are you going to affect change, one of 435 coming from Missouri? How are you going to?
A couple ways, and I'm really excited about it. One of them is I belong to a group called Bring Back Congress, Balance and Accountability to Congress, and that is the largest slate of Democrats that have ever been together as signatories on 5 things that we want to focus on. Number 1, we want to get rid of Citizens United. Number 2, we want term limits. Number 3, we want to ban stock trades in Congress. Number 4, we want a code of ethics for the Supreme Court. And number 5, we want to stop that revolving door, put a moratorium of 5 years where people that are in Congress, turn into lobbyists. So those are 5 things. And if that slate gets in, which is well over 100, I think we have the potential to really affect change in the Democratic Party, because most of us are outside or we are first-time people running.
How would you get rid of Citizens United? It was a constitutional right.
Well, I think we had to work on heavy-duty legislation on that. The other thing I'm excited about, and you mentioned the housing bill earlier as I was listening, that comes out of the Problem Solvers Caucus. And I've already had conversations with through my campaign strategist about the Problem Solvers Caucus and being on that. A Republican and a Democrat enter together, and they agree on what can we work toward. This year it is on affordability. So as you saw, that housing bill, that came out of this bipartisan committee. The infrastructure bill came out of this committee. And they agree as a caucus to work on these things together. They have committees to help solve these. And that's what we really need in Congress. We need problem solvers and people that are willing to work together. And the other thing I like about this committee, if they don't agree on something, they agree not to sabotage one another. That is the kind of bipartisanship that we need to move forward.
Joan Von Dross, last question for you, Democratic candidate. There's a Republican in the 2nd District who's listening to this, who's planning on voting for Ann Wagner. If you win the Democratic primary, you're going to take on Ann Wagner in the fall. Speak to that Republican candidate or that Republican voter who's going to vote for Ann Wagner and has planned on voting for Ann Wagner. Why should they vote for you?
I would like you to give me a chance. I have an innovative idea about how representation should be. I've got unique town halls where people are heard and engage in conversation. I want to rebuild the public square and civil discourse, and I want to help heal the community. We are not as divided as social media would think we are, and we need to get out of our silos and begin to have conversations as constituents in District 2 and not as a Democrat or Republican. So I have many town halls coming up and coffees and conversations. Please come and meet me because I do want to listen to you and you will be heard.
What's your website for people to find out more?
VoteJoan.com.
Joan Vondras, Democratic candidate for the Missouri 2nd District. Ann Wagner's district. She's got to win the Democratic primary first. When you win, Joan Vondras, and you become a congresswoman, will you lose our phone number or will you come back and talk to us from time to time?
This is my second time here, and I hope you have me a third and a fourth. I would love to come and have more conversation with you.
All right. You heard it here, so don't lose our number if you end up winning. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Tim.
Safe travels. 923 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's check in traffic. St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
All right, McGraw crews have cleared off the accident that was on 270 northbound, right at the 170 merge, 270 northbound. That should be essentially eastbound as it curves around the bend. Crews have finally cleared the accident off the road. It was blocking 2 left lanes, and now traffic is moving along smoothly there. An update to the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night. Due to encroaching weather, it will be delayed for 1 week to next Friday. But they'll still have a free showing of the Disney classic cars, face painting, concession, stage show, and the movie. Catholic Charities will be collecting toys or non-perishable items for families in need. Presented by the Royal Banks of Missouri. From the St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Connor McCarthy on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, now let me tell you about Dents Express. Dents Express has been a locally owned, family-run business for 30 years. They have technicians there. If you add it all up, their experience, it's 150 years of combined experience. Dents Express. They specialize in paintless dent removal, hail damage, and minor collision. Now, you and I would see something and say, oh, that looks like major. But to them, industry standards, it's minor. Dents Express has the reputation. They have the talent. They have the know-how, the customer service. Every KTRS listener that I have heard that we've sent there comes back raving because when it's finished, you don't even know where the ding in the dent was. It's pretty amazing. Dents Express, dentsexpressstl.com. 2 locations. One's in Baldwin on Manchester Road. The other one is in St. Charles, right off of Highway 94. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll do everything. The only thing you need to do is make an appointment. So check them out, dentsexpressstl.com. Make an appointment and then let them work their magic. Dents Express or dentsexpressstl.com.
He has done it! What a goal!
It's time for a CarShield Sportsplex 2026 Summer of Soccer Update, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Ragazzi's.
We had just one quarterfinal match on Thursday, and it belonged to the French. France advanced into the semis. They blanked Morocco 2-0. Kylian Mbappe with another goal as his chances at the Golden Boot continue to look strong. France now awaits their opponent. It will be either Spain or Belgium. They play this afternoon. This CarShield Sportsplex Summer of Soccer Update is presented by Royal Banks of Missouri and Ragazzi's. Also brought to you by Hackett Security, Neighbors Credit Union, Lordo's Diamonds, Means Financial Group, and Aldon Heating and Cooling on the Big 550.
This has been the CarShield Sportsplex 2026 Summer of Soccer Update on the Talk of St. Louis, the Big 550 KTRS.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Discover how you can make lasting summer memories with a home equity line of credit from Royal Banks of Missouri. Whether you're envisioning a new backyard oasis or an unforgettable family getaway, you can enjoy peace of mind with flexible, convenient funding to turn your dreams into reality. Call 314-212-1500 or visit royalbanksofmo.com today to learn how you can apply for a home equity line of credit. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio, discover the hidden speakeasy, and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66 true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
Hi, this is Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details. That's trhughes.com.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
Since 1976, thousands of businesses have relied upon the tax reduction strategies provided by Capital Advisory Group to help them keep more of what they earn, reduce their tax liability, and stop overpaying their federal and state income taxes. Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and the author of the 2 #1 best-selling books on taxes, Keep What's Yours and Keeping What's Yours. We're celebrating 50 years helping small businesses grow and thrive by minimizing the financial risk to their businesses, reducing their tax liability, and growing their wealth using strategic tax planning. The Fed is hinting that inflation and interest rates will continue to rise in the months ahead. If you're relying on investment advice from someone who isn't familiar with the tax strategy and feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, give us a call, 636-394-5524, capitaladvisorygrp.com. Again, the number is 636-394-5524.
In Forest Park. Your enchanted evening awaits as South Pacific, the sweeping American classic by Rodgers and Hammerstein, returns to the Muni, July 6th through 12th. Sponsored by Centene. Your seats are waiting at muni.org.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Randy's on the line. Holy mackerel. Randy Carricker, sports guru extraordinaire. Good morning, Randy Carricker.
Good morning, McGraw. Do you ever get spam phone calls on your phone?
All the time, yeah.
I do too, and I like to taunt the people, but they have started to hang up on me. Like they hear my voice and they hang up on me now.
When I get a spam call, I get like the voicemail at the same time. It transcribes the voicemail while they're calling me. And apparently Alyssa likes to call me because she's got some national loan program that I should be aware of.
See, I've heard the loan ones, and the ones that I get are supplements for Medicare and things like that. So when I tell them I'm 104 years old, they just hang up on me.
God love you. All right, speaking of this, we got word that Jordan Walker is going to be in the home run hitting contest, and I recoiled into horror. I don't want him being in the home run hitting contest that might mess up his swing.
I am with you 100%. And there have been a couple of Cardinals over the years. Jim Edmonds had a situation, and so did Scott Rowland, where they got hurt swinging so hard. Now, the one thing about Jordan Walker is he can swing nice and easy, and the ball still comes off his bat at 109 miles an hour. And I hope he just maintains that. I just hope he takes his regular BP, because ordinarily, when guys are in the home run derby, one of two things happens. Either they get hurt or they mess up their swing, and it takes a long time if they come back that season at all. It takes a long time for them to bounce back. You saw it with Pete Alonso a few times, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm with you with Jordan Walker. It's I love the fact that he's getting the recognition, but I'm with you. I recoiled as well when I heard that he was going to be in the home run derby.
Okay, good, because last night when I saw that, I was like, oh, man, no. I don't want alarm clocks near this guy. Don't wake him up. Just have him doing what he's doing. I don't even want him to break for the All-Star game. Just have him keep doing what he's doing. That home run last night, what a sweet swing that was last night from Jordan Walker.
Yeah, he's amazing, and he is becoming a home run hitter. It's interesting, McGraw, because when he was coming through the system, he wasn't really projected as a 40 home run guy, and I think now he might be a 35 to 40 home run guy. He was. They thought, okay, he'll be a 20 to 30 home run guy and hit a bunch of doubles, and it was because of his launch angle, because he hit a lot of line drives. But that swing has changed. And I thought for all the world, when the Cardinals put a couple of runners on in the eighth inning, when he struck out, I expect him to hit a home run now, which is a great thing. I always did that with Albert. I always did that with Mark McGwire when he came to the plate. And I feel that way about Walker now. When he steps to the plate in a big situation, I expect him to hit it out of the ballpark.
Cardinals are I don't know, they're starting to come back to reality, come back down to earth. And those Brewers, they're a pretty good team.
I think that's the big thing, McGraw. I thought at the beginning of this week that this would be an opportunity for everybody in the Cardinal organization, from on the baseball side, Chaim Bloom and his staff, Ollie and his staff, all the players. They got a chance to see what the bar is in the National League Central, and it's set with Milwaukee and the way they play, and that should be the model for the Cardinals. Amazing statistics for a game that's a power game now. And the Cardinals will tell you it's a power game now. Milwaukee is third from the bottom in home runs in all of baseball. They're number 28 in home runs. They're fourth in runs scored. They're in the top six in doubles. They're in the top six in batting average. They're in the top six in stolen bases. So they prove that you don't need to hit home runs to score runs. And that's obviously something that we as Cardinal fans know well. With Whitey Ball in the 80s, the 1985 Cardinals hit 67 home runs and led the National League in runs scored. But I think we've gotten away from that in baseball a little bit. Hopefully the Cardinals, over the course of losing 4 out of 5 to Milwaukee, recognize that a little bit, that you don't need the power. Oh, and it doesn't hurt to have great pitching and a great bullpen either. One thing the Cardinals need to fix is their bullpen depth, and I think that'll come from within the system, but they just don't have enough dudes in the bullpen right now.
Yeah, 4 games over 500. They're 4-6 in their last 10. So, but Milwaukee, 5-game series against Milwaukee. That's an oddity too. And then the Braves come in this weekend. So it's a tough stretch for the Cardinals.
Yeah. By the way, you aren't old enough to remember the '82 season, are you?
Not. I remember the '82 Mets season, but not the '82 Cardinal season.
So in September of '82, the Cardinals were kind of going head-to-head with the Phillies, and they had to come into New York and play a 5-game series, and the Cardinals swept it. Doubleheaders on Friday and Saturday, and then a single game on Sunday. And I remember the Cardinals had traded a guy named Harry Rasmussen to the Padres for George Hendrick in 1978. He comes back to the Cardinals as a free agent. He'd been released by somebody in 1982 and changed his first name from Harry to Eric. But he went into New York in the opener of the doubleheader, and he won. And I think Suter had saves in both parts of both doubleheaders. And the Cardinals swept a 5-game series from the Mets. And that was really when the Cardinals knew they had the 1982 NL East division wrapped up.
The guy changed his name from like one day to the next day?
Well, from over the course of time, he decided he didn't like the name Harry, so he went with Eric. So he changed his first name. So when I first saw it, and I was 20 years old, I thought, oh man, they got another Rasmussen, and then I found out that he had changed his first name.
All right, good to know. Good stuff. Randy, what World Cup? What do we know about the World Cup? And when does the St. Louis City team start up again?
Okay, they start up again a week from tomorrow, so they'll be back in action. World Cup will wrap up here in the next few days, and I really think it's the teams that I thought at the beginning, Argentina with Messi, France with Mbappe, I thought those would be the teams that would win, and I was hoping that somebody would knock them out so that maybe that would open the door for the USA. But I think those two, Spain is really good. I think that you've got like 4 teams that are really, really good. that have a chance to win, and everybody else is just kind of like window dressing. I think there's probably 4 teams that have a chance to win and 44 that really didn't.
So I was watching one of the games, and that announcer with that accent, I don't know who he is, but he also does the Tour de France for, I don't know, NBC, Universal, or whatever. I don't know who that guy is, but that guy's voice is awesome, and I could watch the 13 stages of the Tour de France just listening to that guy broadcast the game.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know him, but St. Louis and Steve Schlanger is one of the guys on NBC that does the Tour de France, and he does a lot of Olympic sports. He's a good veteran broadcaster. But I don't know if he does soccer.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to watching the Tour de France. I love watching that. That's just fun to watch them bike through the French countryside and all those crazies who stand 2 feet from the bikes as they race by. I always like the Tour de France.
Okay, let's be honest, though. Do you like the race better or the crashes?
I mean, I'll watch the crashes, but I don't know. I just like to watch the French countryside, and I don't know. And listening to that guy's hypnotic cadence, I always end up falling asleep 10 minutes into the stage and wake up at some point. But
I'll tell you this: I've been a bicyclist all my life. I've always enjoyed riding my bike, but there is no way that I could ride up and down the hills with the length, the distance that they have to ride. I would have no chance. Like for what they do in one day in the Tour de France, it'd take me 2 weeks.
Those guys are insane. How they're able to do it, like go up the Alps one day and then the next day they go up the Pyrenees. I mean, it's insane what they're able to do. Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
The guy's name is Phil Leggett, I think is his name. Phil Leggett.
Okay, yeah, I've heard him.
Yeah, Phil Leggett. All right, Randy Carricker, who's your sponsor?
It's our friends at Classic Air Care McGraw, and at this time of year, we've got the warm weather. It's imperative that you have your air conditioner working. Here in the St. Louis area, there's no better company to call to make sure that your air conditioner not only is working now, but is going to work long term than Classic Air Care. It's Classic AIRE, classicaircare.com, and they've been around for a century. They've done great work on St. Louis HVAC systems for that long, and they not only can provide you great information about how your air conditioner is doing, how much longer it's going to last, but they also do a great job of picking out the best system for you if you do need a new air conditioner in your home. And they do more than air conditioning and heating. They do electrical, they do plumbing. It's a great company. Love them, love their vans. They're orange with penguins. Orange is my favorite color, orange with penguins on them. They're great. Go to classicaircare.com and set up your appointment today. It's Classic Air Care, AIRE, classicaircare.com.
Hey, who says radio advertising doesn't work? We're expecting huge crowds tonight for the free Disney Classic Cars, part of Westport Plaza's movie night. However, there's one small problem. They have now officially canceled Christmas in July movie night tonight due to the impending weather. So, for all the people we got excited about tonight, hang tight, hold that thought. They're going to do it again and reschedule for next Friday. Christmas in July movie night is rescheduled to next Friday, July 17th. Make plans. Come out, Westport Plaza Family Movie Night. They're going to show Disney's classic cars. Face painting and all the concessions start at 6 next Friday. Stage show starts at 7 next Friday. And cars will start at 7:45. Families bring a new unwrapped toy or non-perishable item. The first 75 people who bring a toy will get a free ticket to Disney on Ice and a free shake from the soda fountain out here at Westport. It's free movie night next Friday due to the impending weather. So don't come tonight. You'll get soaked. Or if you do, bring an umbrella, and then you will see no movie. It's next week. Cars, the Disney Classic. Friday, July 17th at Westport Plaza, all presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. Now, let's talk about Ryan Raphael and Medicare, because the Medicare man is going to help you out with all of your Medicare needs. You're over 65 and you're on Medicare, but you don't like your plan, or you think you don't like your plan, or I don't know if I like my plan. How come my neighbor has a better deal than I got? Call Ryan Raphael. He'll run the numbers. He'll let you know if your plan is the best plan for you. Are you approaching 65? You're on a plan? Do you want to switch over? Do you want to stay on your spouse's plan? Again, what do you do? Call Ryan Raphael. He'll be able to answer all those questions. 314-368-6808. 314-368-6808. Medicare Man or MedicareManSTL.com.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
It's hot out. But nothing can be hotter this summer than a Dogtown pizza. Hey, Josh here, and we're talking 425 degrees hot. 12 different varieties, and a whole bunch of fresh toppings. Try the bacon, the 4-meat, or head to the garden for a veggie or tomato basil garlic.
Oh, you want to get hot?
Try the hot chicken pizza on for size. Sizzling. This summer's already hot, but make it even hotter with some Dogtown Pizza. Every local grocery store in town and at dogtownpizza.com.
Lauren, can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
If your parents were buying a home tomorrow, would you represent them any differently than one of your clients?
Not a chance. And when I say that, I mean I treat my clients exactly like I'd treat my parents. Same honesty, same advice, same negotiation. Every client gets the same service.
Okay, second question. If one of your closest friends called you and said, I found a house, I'm in love with it, but you knew it was a bad decision, what would you do?
I've already done it before. I tell them no, don't buy it. My job isn't to sell people houses. It's to help them make good decisions. And sometimes that means they don't get to buy anything that day.
That's exactly why I've sent my friends and family to Lauren for years.
I mean, it's simple. Buying and selling a house, it's a big deal. And people deserve to have someone who's willing to tell them what they need to hear and not just what they want to hear.
Exactly. If you already know Lauren from listening every week, then you already know the kind of person she is. When it's time to make your move, give Lauren Risley Realty a call at 314-775-0684.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. Plus, when you schedule your appointment before July 12th, you'll receive an additional $250 off your entire purchase. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Your retirement isn't just numbers on a statement. It's your family, your time, and your future. Listen to the Financial Safari with Greg Belger, Sundays at 5 p.m., right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Tune in weekly to the Frank and Jill Show to catch the new Legal Eagle segment featuring renowned attorney Travis Noble of Travis Noble Attorneys at Law. Every week, Travis will join the show for an entertaining segment focusing on legal stories and news right here on the Big 550. Now, back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right. We'll get to Frank here in a little bit. 9:45 here at Big 550 KTRS. Let's go to Ken on line one. Ken, good morning. Welcome to the Big 550 KTRS.
Yes, good morning. Hey, what's going on with the senator from Kentucky?
Mitch McConnell?
Yes.
Well, we don't know. He apparently, the stories are that there was an ambulance went to his house in the middle of June. They took an unconscious man to the hospital. Now they're saying that he's rehabbing nicely. He has all of his mental faculties, getting some physical rehab apparently, and he'll show up to work whenever he's ready to show up for work.
Well, I didn't hear that part. I just heard he was in the hospital. I thought maybe he was on life support, and we're keeping him there. So, the governor couldn't appoint somebody in his place.
So those are the rumors. Last night on my Westwood One show, I was talking with the congressional correspondent of News Nation, and he was saying that there are people saying that he is fine mentally, physically he's still rehabbing, and who knows if he's going to show up for work tomorrow. But there's been all sorts of rumors and speculation, and the governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, who's a Democrat, is demanding, more transparency and whatever else. So now it's a whole thing.
Yeah, when's his term up? Do you know?
He's done. This is it. This is the end of his term. He's stepping down, and they're having a campaign to see who will replace him in his normal term. So his term ends at the end of this session.
So they're going to have the election this November?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's not much good just keep him on life support for.
Well,
if that was the case.
I mean, you have to be in the chamber to vote. There is no mail-in ballot. So they have to wheel him in, and if he's unconscious, God forbid, I don't know how you can vote if you're unconscious.
Well,
so
as long as he's alive or on life support, then the Kentucky governor cannot appoint a Democrat to replace him.
Yeah, I don't know how that all works. You'd have to go to the back page of the rule book for that one. Hey, Ken, thanks for the phone call, Ken. I appreciate it.
All right, bye.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, hey, McGraw, I'm very happy for Mr. Walker and all his home runs and hope he continues, but I think you need to give him a couple more years before we start comparing him to Albert. I did not compare him to Albert, did I?
You did not. Randy said he was worried when Albert was in the home run race that his swing would get messed up.
Correct.
Too. That's the comparison.
Yeah, that we were but just saying we didn't want him going to the home run derby and trying to hit home runs and then ruin his swing and then come back and that's all. We were not comparing him to Albert Pujols, who might be the next New York Mets manager. So keep your fingers crossed on that one. Instead of taking all your swings at once, they should just limit it to 5 swings at a time. Rotate the batters through would make the competition more about power and less about endurance. Spam calls. The Missouri Troopers are relentless. Yes. I love your song, Don't Take the Girl, Tim. Joan called you Tim. When did you change your name? Laugh out loud. Captain Paul's voice has changed. Thank you for having Joan on your show. She's a breath of fresh air and truly cares about people. It would be good for Missouri to finally have a true representation in Washington. Here's another one. I see Jones yard signs. Here's another one. Committees can agree to a lot, but most get shut down before hitting the floor. Here's another one. I love your version of Don't Take the Girl. 314, Tim McGraw. 314, Tim. Did she just call you Tim twice? Why does she keep calling you Tim? Why does she think data centers will shut down? Closed-loop cooling systems do not contaminate the ground. 314, Joan is awesome. Meet her at a small-town meeting. I've never met Ann Wagner. Ask her how she's going to change old-school Democrats to compromise with Republicans. Hey, McGraw, when watching your live stream, you can't hear the music. It was hilarious watching you rock out to Ronnie James Dio without the music. So, apparently, let's address the elephant in the room. This poor woman kept calling me Tim during the whole interview. So I didn't get the email. She sent an email?
She did. She apologized.
What is the email? I know you sent it to me, but I still haven't gotten it.
All right, hang on a second. Donald's on the line, by the way.
Okay, good. Donald is going to Steve is going to have to. Tim is going to have to wait.
All right, stand by. She said, "Dear quote Tim McGraw Millhaven, thank you for having me on today. I always enjoy speaking with you. Since you haven't corrected me calling you Tim, consider it a term of endearment and our new inside joke. Best wishes on America at Night. After I win and you have me on, I promise I'll get it right unless it becomes our new thing. Smiley, winky face."
There you go. Look, I don't care. Just don't call me late for dinner. 2, she's not the first person to call me Tim because, I don't know, they just get Tim McGraw in their mind and they call me Tim, and she's on the radio and she's trying to get all of her facts and figures correctly, and she doesn't know what I'm going to ask her, so I could, cut her a break, the poor woman. She's running for Congress, and It's, people make mistakes, and I don't know if you know this, but I have butchered names from time to time.
Or the time from time to time. So there before the grace of God go any of us. But here's if somebody calls you the wrong name, are you supposed to say, excuse me, I'm McGraw? Right. What are you supposed to say? Am I supposed to say, I'm sorry, you called me Tim, my name's McGraw? That's kind of even more awkward. I would just rather you call me by the wrong name, right? And just hope that somebody somewhere down the line says, did you call him Tim? His name's not Tim. His name's Steve, right? I don't know what to do. She kept calling me Tim. In the middle of the interview, was I supposed to say, what'd you call me? First time I thought it was a mistake. And I'm like, I thought she might have said something else.
Yeah.
The second time, she thinks his name is Tim McGraw. The third time, it was over.
In the lobby, at the top of the hour, in the lobby, they were waiting in the lobby. And so I'm like, hey, guys, welcome to the show. She says, hey, Tim, good to see you. And at that point, I was like, did she call me Tim? Again, not that I care.
And she has people.
She has. I blame her campaign
Thanks,
manager. His name's Steve, I believe. His name's Robert. I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad. It's no big deal. But it's kind of funny that she was calling me Tim.
And everyone noticed.
And everybody noticed. And I didn't know what to say. What do you say? Again, everyone gets called the wrong name at some point. But do you say, I'm sorry, you've been calling me Jim all these years. My name is Bob. I don't know. Who's on line one?
It's Donald.
Oh, boy.
Way to wait, end of the week.
Donald. Let's go with Donald. By the way, Donald.
Yep.
Is that your real name?
No, it's my radio moniker.
It's your nom de plume, in other words.
Yeah, there's another word for it, too, but,
Yeah. Is your real name Tim?
No, it's not. I didn't know.
Okay. All right, Donald, what do you got for us?
Well, I'm going to be easy on everybody. Actually, I always am. And it's just an advice for that Jan, or whoever the lady you just had on.
Joan Von Dross. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Well, God bless her and your buddy Chuck that tried to do the same thing last year, correct?
Chuck ran. Yeah, was it Ann Wagner? Yeah, but he lost to Ray Hartman. Yeah.
He got smoked. Let's admit that.
Well, hold on a second. Ray Hartman did lose, but it's kind of it's not a fair fight because they stack the deck. They stack the districts, so Ann Wagner can't lose.
No. I meant Chuck got smoked by Ray.
Oh.
But either
okay.
way,
Yeah.
Joan's going to have the same fate. We all know that. You try to tell her that. But and here's why. The very first dang thing she said was to rip on the chief executive, the president. You Democrats need to stop doing that. You need to stop bashing the president. That's my friendly advice for the weekend. That's all I got.
Wait a minute. Should Republicans stop bashing the president when there's a Democrat in office?
McGraw?
Yes.
My comment. You heard my comment. Her very first thing out of her mouth was bashing the president of the United States.
Yeah, well,
real quick.
When Joe Biden was president, you bashed Joe Biden.
I didn't. I love Joe Biden, to be honest with you. But either way, but Biden, Bush, and Obama are the reason why we're doing this Iran war, and you know that.
Stop bashing the presidents.
Oh, you're right. You caught me. Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one. There you go.
See ya.
There you go. Tim, Bob, Donald. Donald is nom de plume. Donald's also calling me at nighttime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Using the same name?
Either that or I'm having a nightmare that he's calling me in my dreams. I can't tell which is weird. Frank called Coach Gates the wrong name the other day on the Mizzou basketball game. It's not a big deal. Quit making fun of her. That's what we do on the show. We make fun of people. From one Donald to another. Donald, you're an idiot. It's not very nice. In last night's sports, we thought Frank called Dennis Gates Dennis Quaid. It happens. Trust me. It happens. Well, yesterday I called Bob Eubanks Chuck Eubanks.
You thought he was Chuck Woolery for a second.
No. I get Chuck Fairbanks confused with Bob Eubanks.
Understood.
That's why I call him Chuck Eubanks. You know who I'm talking about.
Was this on our show or America at Night?
Both. Because oddly enough, Bob Eubanks came up on the show last night. Somebody brought up the Newlywed Game. So awesome. I retold the other story. I recycled the content.
As you should.
If you will. All right, I got just enough time to tell you about Dr. Joe, STL Med Weight Loss. Want to start losing weight? Yes. Here's what you do. STLMedWeightLoss.com. Dr. Joe has had patients lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 100 pounds. Call, get on the schedule. Within 24 to 48 hours, they'll send the medicine right to your front door. You start losing weight. Introductory price is the same. 6-month prices are all the same, so you're locked in. You've got price guarantees. Lose weight, effective, simple. STLMedWeightLoss.com. STLMedWeightLoss.com. Oh, we got the Bricker Brothers. Ham's bringing up the rear. We're done. Frank with Steve Gates and Rachel Farmer will be joining us here at the top of the hour. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for putting up with me.